This is starting. I think we're starting.
We're starting.
That's how it starts.
Push it with your dick, dude.
It worked! I am Ray Taylor. I clearly don't have a regular job.
I was never really into comic books growing up. Like, I was a geek.
Well, you should tell your face that, because you look exactly like
I do.
Watch the fights.
Fuck yeah, I watch the fights.
I'm Keith Spurlock.
I watch every kind of pornography.
I said,
all right, counteract my cancer that I'm giving myself.
Right.
I smoke weed after every cigarette.
What were we just fucking talking about? And this is the Inspired Disorder Podcast. I'm not going to allow you to have an opinion on this just because you're wrong.
Is anyone else's podcast about like jerking off and UFC?
If I was acrobatic, I'd do some unnecessary flipping, and bending.
Spinning, too, while flipping.
They should really... Anyway, we'll get into that. But
we saw a movie!
We saw a movie. And it's a movie that's coming out this week. So this episode will come out Thursday. But same week. Wonder Woman came out. At first, especially after seeing the last two Warner Brothers, DC... bullshit movies,
Batman, Superman, and Suicide Squad.
Yes. And then initially hearing bad things leading into post-production of this film. Like, I don't remember
heard
if there were
terrible
like
things about this movie,
but then for some reason out of somewhere, like all the critic screenings were good. Rotten Tomatoes
95% at one point. I don't know if it still is, but
we can definitely look that up. But yeah, so I was actually optimistic going into this movie. I was like, at least I'm probably going to see some fun action scenes, you know? I may not care about the story. There's probably going to be references that I'm not going to get, but fuck me, because they don't give a shit about
they really don't care about
doing
that.
anything.
You better
so
do
yeah,
homework.
So going into this movie, I was super optimistic. You know? Still hesitant, because it is fucking DC. But it got good ratings, which is fucking insane.
I went into it I was trying not to shit my pants.
Yeah. I was looking forward to it. I was like, I was right when I put it on the schedule, I was like, I'm looking forward to seeing Wonder Woman, which is kind of crazy.
I thought it was crazy when you're like, you want to go see Wonder Woman. I'm like, this from a man who at one point said, they won't even make that movie. And I'm like, they're already in production. I don't give a fuck. They probably won't even make it. And they made it.
Shit happens. They made a movie that was definitely better than the first two. I did not like this movie. Didn't hate it. But as far as comic book superhero movies go, this is like the third worst, maybe? It's not, I don't know. It's like way below. Like this is not better, in my opinion, than any Marvel movie that I could think of. There's no Marvel movie that is worse than this movie that I can think of off the top of my head. Like,
maybe
and there's some,
Iron
like, even
Man
the
3.
I haven't seen that one, and I mean maybe this one.
That Shane Black wrote that.
It doesn't really mean anything. I mean, it should be well written, but then directors can still fuck shit
True.
up. Yeah. So, but yeah, it's like it's a comic book movie. It's like just from the start, and then a lot of the humor reminded. It was like me, like. Like very like shticky, corny.
It was very
like even the fight scene. Well, we're gonna spoil parts
the whole
of this
movie. Probably.
I have no desire to go beat through this movie.
No,
but we'll kind of pick and choose and talk about different shit.
Well, I mean, you can just start. There's like fucking 3 distinct acts. Just go through the acts. First act.
No, but it's like
Themyscira. Second act. You're trying to get to the war. Third act.
You're on this
war.
tiny island that's all this big and different scenes that like they're there to protect the world against the god of war.
Ares.
That is why they are there. However, they are completely oblivious. They have no way of seeing or knowing anything that's going on in the rest of the world because there's this magical cloak where they have perfect blue skies all the time, and from the outside looking in, it's stormy weather, and you can't see into it.
Island from Kong Skull Island.
Pretty much. But Kong Skull Island did it better.
They did.
They did way better. But the premise that they're supposed to be on this island,
Lost.
which I know, fuck that show.
You
I have no desire to see that show. But like just the premise for why they're there, starting off, before we even see any of these, I mean, we don't get. They kind of explain why they're there later, and I was like, that doesn't make any sense. Why are you there to protect the world when you don't know what the fuck's going on? I mean, they were there from, I'm assuming, the beginning of time or something. I don't know when they populated that island as far as human history goes. But it's World War I, and they're completely
shortly
oblivious.
after they created man, because then there was the war, and it's confusing.
So it's like Genghis Khan wrecked some shit,
a lot of
and
shit,
they
a lot
didn't,
of bad
they didn't
shit
do
happened.
anything. But they're there on their beautiful island doing their fucking horse riding and fucking acro fucking
training sessions,
fucking archery,
Cirque du
bullshit
Soleil archery
that looked just really like the CG where it was clearly animated stuff looked better.
There was some of
looked
it
better than that
I liked,
shit.
but there was some that just completely took me out instantly.
Looked horrible. Like I was like literally wanting to just laugh.
But
like,
it happened
all
early.
I wanted to do.
It happened
just
early,
right
and I
off
was
the
like,
bat.
ooh.
And I was like, okay, this is not going to be good.
She
This
turned
is
into
not
Blade
gonna be
2.
good. It's not.
Fight
Everybody
scene,
did.
Or
Everybody did.
Neo from
It was like it was like the Hercules TV show, but with a better budget. Like just corny shit like that, but with a way better budget.
But
basically,
there were parts. I didn't hate this movie. I'm with you. I don't hate it.
I was going in hoping it was
I
going to
kind
be
of liked
good.
it, but it was like I like it in like it was a movie, and I got to see a cool fight scene at the end.
I didn't see any. There was one good fight scene, and it was very short. That room scene that's basically very similar to the Batman scene, the only good fight scene in that bullshit movie, where it's like they're in a room and there's just a shaft of light coming through and she's kind of doing her cool shit, which is the only time that like spinny, slidey shit that she did.
She does a lot
good.
of spinny, slidey, leg kicky
But like
stuff.
all
through
of the
whole
other
movie.
action scenes were just bad wire work and shitty CGI. Like she super jumps sometimes, she hovers other times, she kind of flies. Like it's all really done for like no reason other than to like show that she can do shit.
But I think that she's like, in sort of defense, I think that she's just like now finding out that she's kind of magic power god.
Sure, but
so like she doesn't
okay.
know.
So
they keep
beginning of the movie,
they keep referencing that she doesn't
sure,
know.
she clearly acts like she's Brendan Fraser from that movie where he wakes up from like, I mean, well, I guess Encino Man, but then there's also like the one where he's in
a bunker.
Yeah. But basically, a lot of his movies where he's just like confused, goofy guy, which I didn't like. For her as Wonder Woman, I don't mind the casting. I think she's fine. A lot of the movie is just kind of accents and bullshit.
I liked how they played her as like
I liked her more if she was
naive of the world and just I enjoyed that part of it, and I thought that played well because she's not that great of an actress.
I think she was. I think
She's
she was
fine.
better than everybody else in this
Chris
movie.
Pine in this.
He was. I mean, the fact that, at least my interpretation, the fact that he was in the rope.
And I
of
get why
truth.
you could see that, but
I mean, it's like they said it so many times, but then he didn't even like. He had a perfect English accent until like, I mean, the last picture at the very end of the movie where he's standing in front of the plane and he's got the Iron Cross, but then there's like the Uncle Sam's hat flying off. Like, is he supposed to be like? That was the only scene that ever made me think, okay, maybe he's an American that worked for the British for some reason, but then was embedded in
Germany.
That just like that didn't make any sense. Like they said,
No, I
like,
get that.
British was hammered very
very
hard in that
but
scene.
I knew he was supposed to be American the whole time.
Well, then,
But they could have changed it.
You know what you change? Either you give the motherfucker a British accent, or say he's from America. Do one of the two, but you can't say he's British and have an American accent. I mean, when everybody else is trying to do accents and they're doing them very horribly. Like all the Amazonian women, like whatever.
Hey, the Scottish
accents
guy
they were
sounded super Scottish.
That's how he talks.
Yeah, I know.
That's decent casting.
Yeah,
but
hey,
the fact that he's part of the ragtag group of people.
Can we get the guy from Trainspotting? They're like, we can get him.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it's like he's fresh off of T2, you know? But yeah, like the whole premise, so he, like, World War I, like, stumbles onto their island, so she's like, I'm going to go kill this fucking god of war,
Because it has to be him. Because
And
why
it has
else?
to be
Why
her.
else would there?
Well, and she's
no,
the
I'm
one, the
in
warrior
her mind.
that has
She's
to
like,
do it too.
why else would there be a war except if this is Ares?
Yeah.
It has to be Ares because all she's ever been taught is
You know what this movie?
Greek mythology.
Her kind of naiveness and everything is very much like
Naivete.
like kids that are being raised by their fundamentally Christian households, and she's finally going
She's
out
like a
into the
homeschool
world,
kid that just got out of fucking.
and she believes that there's gods of war. But guess what? In this movie, there's actually gods in this universe with superheroes, which I guess the Marvel universe has gods too. But
they're
these
not
are
really gods.
these
they
are-
were just perceived as gods.
But
by
these
us.
are like
these are real gods.
These are the Greek gods are
Yes.
real in this one.
Except-
but there's superhero-y gods.
yeah, where it's like they're not.
I mean, it all makes so much sense. First off, the fact that that British scene where he's like British the whole time, every time he spoke, I was like, why didn't they just say he's from the U.S.? Like, I get it, but do something.
They
You don't
should.
say.
I agree.
It's like, imagine if
me
they called
knowing
him
the
like
backstory of
imagine-
Wonder Woman makes it different.
Imagine
and
if there
just-
was like this racial undertone because everybody is racist against black people, but then they cast him as the black guy, and they're just acting like he's a black guy. But
That
it's
would be
like,
great.
what? He's not black. He's a white guy. Why you? I mean, like how they cast white women for Asian chicks, like the Ghost in the Shell and the fucking
Doctor Strange.
yeah. I put that on. It's on Netflix.
Yeah,
put that on. It's about. I didn't watch all of it. I just started watching it. 2D looks good. Still do not like her as the Morpheus of the
ancient
movie.
one.
Yeah, still don't like her casting. But
I do like Tilda Swinton. I mean,
I do too.
She didn't bother me in that.
just because I like an actor doesn't mean they should be in.
she was
like
cast
the
as
fucking.
the Angel Michael in fucking Constantine. She's
Yeah, but I don't like that movie
Yeah.
at all.
I
And
do.
I don't know if I'd like that casting anyway. I don't know. It's whatever.
or Gabriel.
So anyway,
she was Gabriel. Sorry, not Michael.
oh okay. So sorry, the other fake religious thing.
Well, we're already talking about mythology.
I know.
Fuck it.
Yeah, this is different shit. But that's what she reminded me of, like a fucking kid that was raised.
True.
And
Yeah,
she,
I know.
and then like she's going out to kill. And the whole time I was thinking World War II for some reason. So I was like, oh, she's gonna go kill Hitler.
Yeah.
Hitler's gonna be. I was like, and then the whole time.
That's why it would have had such big ratings.
The whole
Like,
time, yeah. The
hey.
whole time I'm watching this is like, if this is what's gonna happen, I'd rather be watching Inglourious
Inglourious
Basterds.
Basterds,
Like
yeah.
if they're gonna change history like that, but that would have been way cooler than, they think they're going after. The movie's telling you throughout that this is the bad guy. This is the guy. Pretty much.
Yeah.
Like they didn't really. He was the main
It
bad
was
guy.
the twist.
But it was like, oh no, it's this guy that was in one scene before or two scenes before.
Yeah.
Like he's such a nothing character. He's just like background, like guy.
I honestly, watching it, I thought he at one point definitely was Ares, and when
I wasn't paying attention to him at all.
when he became
Yeah.
well
Because
because
there's
he,
nothing that was like indicating. Because
he
the
was
whole movie
he was the guy that was speaking when they went into that like Parliament House. He also came out and talked to them again. He also was the dude who came into the bar and gave them money and said, "You know, your secretary can run the shit out of my office." But when they were on the phone and he was like, "You don't fucking kill anyone." Like to
Yeah.
me, like everything he said made me think that he still wanted the war to go on,
Yeah.
even though he kept saying he didn't.
Yeah.
So I saw it coming.
Well, I mean, everything I saw coming in this movie except for the twist.
the twist.
And then that last fight scene, I mean, it's just like this. The thing where you're like kind of conjuring shit from broken shit into like weapons, where all he did was throw them, and it was like he threw two swords at her and it just like bounced off, and she just hit the ground. It's like that could have been anything. Why do you have to like make swords? Like,
'Cause
and
it
it's just
looked
like
cool.
it didn't. It looked like so many scenes I've seen before. Fire
I
going
didn't-
on.
I didn't
and
mind it,
fucking,
but
and fucking.
I thought he looked
conjuring
cool
shit.
in the. But
it didn't do anything new.
But
it
I
wasn't
thought
show
that
me
he should have.
anything new.
I thought that they should have not kept his face the same. Like that should have been like just a disguise. Like I don't want to see that guy in that
with
armor.
his British mustache.
Yeah. I want to see just a regular dude.
The other thing, going back to the British guy that's American, like everybody he
Chris Pine.
everybody he interacts with aside from his ragtag group, they're all British. So it made me think like he's supposed to be a British guy. It's just they said, fuck, who cares about accents? Do them if you want. I mean, movies do that.
In the same respect that everyone spoke English, even the Germans in their own fucking country.
Yeah, but at least it's the accents. Like,
and they just had an accent.
Every single person in this movie was doing horrible accents.
Just speaking in
Except
an
for
accent
him.
of a different country, doesn't.
But it's like an inconsistent.
It would make me think it was happening in America, and it was just a bunch of foreign people who also spoke English here. I don't know. That part did take me.
It annoyed the fuck out of me throughout the whole movie. It was annoyed the fuck out of me. And then his character in general was very much just Star-Lord, jokey, kind of slightly insecure, jokey guy, which he's supposed
to get the girl.
He's supposed to be a badass spy.
Trying to get the girl who is more badass than him.
He's supposed to be a badass spy.
It's kind of the same actual premise as Star-Lord and Gamora.
Yeah. Or
he's the jokey, captainish guy
who's
got morals but has done bad shit, kind of. And she's like...
Star Wars.
Yeah.
Fucking the Native American with the TP in. That threw me off, too.
There was a fucking...
So they go to the UK, right? Which is okay, so maybe they'll explain why this motherfucker has an English accent, right?
They were in Belgium at that point.
But they went to London.
Yeah, I know, but they met the chief in Belgium.
Well, they were the scene before that. It was the let's put Wonder Woman in
a bunch of costumes,
in a bunch of different,
outfit.
And we'll just we'll make fun of it. We'll make fun of the prudeness of London.
Well, it's also the trope of how many times have you seen that scene in a movie where
Brendan Fraser's
the girl
2 movies
tries on a bunch of outfits,
it's the ugly girl.
It's
they
the
even
ugly
put
girl.
the glasses on her.
Yeah,
and there's the
and
comment.
then commented,
"Oh, now she's an ugly girl because she's got glasses on." It's why did they?
Oh yeah, the glasses make her not the most beautiful girl you've ever seen before in your life.
And what's and then the outfit that she ends up wearing is kind of still a woman's kind of outfit. It's not like she was wearing a pantsuit, but then they're acting oh, you should have put the fluffles on. But then cut to. She's wearing a fucking robe again when they're out in battle, and when they're going through the fucking trenches.
What'd you think of her actual Wonder Woman outfit?
It looked fine.
I didn't mind it.
The reveals of it were pretty stupid.
I will agree with that.
They didn't reveal it very well.
No.
She puts the crown thing on. It was just you saw flips the hair.
It was you saw some clothing hit the ground, and all of a sudden she's in that whole outfit, but she was totally covered up before.
She was in the dress, and then it falls off of her while she's on a horse.
Oh shit! I was about to say something
in the trenches.
About that.
In the trenches, she had the jacket on.
Yeah, and it was just jacket.
And she literally,
but there was no dress.
She turns, and you see the jacket. And it's just it's is she turning it I was is she turning into a monster right now? Because that's the scene you do when you turn around. It's oh, it's a monster. But then she flips the hair and she's got the crown on. But it's in those scenes when it happens to Superman, right when she turns and does that, bam, you hit the theme music.
They didn't hit her theme music till
I don't
way
know
later.
What her theme music is.
It was
I assume it's the 80s.
It was the guitar
kind of
one.
Thing, yeah.
And they didn't. They played that later in the scene that you really liked. I'm pretty sure that was playing during that.
Yeah. Which that scene is in a large. It's a much larger set piece where it's after she takes off the robe and she's I'm gonna just fucking do this. And then she draws all their fire like Superman on top of a roof.
They've been in this trench for a year because of
They've been able to gain an inch.
And then she's like, "Fuck this!"
Yeah,
just runs out and runs through she's blocking bullets with her fucking
slow mo. Pew pew. It's just
they shoot a mortar at her.
Zack
She
Snyder
just smacks
didn't
it out
direct
of the.
it. He produced it. Oh my god! Why is he writing? Well, he wrote the story, which. Oh my god. Sometimes children need to suffer in order for me to be happy. Yeah, so it's just I don't know, it's I didn't really care, right? She's running out. I know it's going to happen.
I thought it was fun. I like that fun scene.
I was we're going to see some fun action scene. What do we see? It's just her just blocking things, and then they literally 10 feet away.
Nobody decides to go. Hey,
it's pretty fucking stupid.
Can I shoot that guy?
It's pretty fucking stupid.
She's right there, and she's not.
She just kind of kneeled down.
She's not shooting at us.
No.
She's just running at us, and we haven't
We're
been able to
all
shoot
just
her.
trying to shoot her.
But
and-
she's got a shield
Yeah.
that seems to keep blocking
Well,
my
we're gonna
bullets.
keep
but
shooting
what
it.
about these guys?
Yeah,
they
they're
don't have
like
a shield.
5 feet to her left and to her right, and they're just starting to pick people off. What's
Yeah.
going on?
We should shoot them first, and then she'll be alone, and we can.
Why didn't she use her new sparring technique that she used that she learned in the beginning?
But I don't think she learned it. I think it happened accidentally. Like
It doesn't matter.
She just raged out, and that's what happened.
When it happened, her arms. She knew how it it was a thing.
I don't think she knew.
I mean, you would at least try. Like that was crazy.
Sparking
How
that
do I
shit
do
back
that
up?
thing again?
Yeah, I
you
kinda-
know, you have this superpower. You accidentally did right in a thing where your arms were
But they
doing a thing
always
that's
play
very
it.
specific.
That's every superhero movie, they do it accidentally once, and then they're kind of scared of their power.
Yeah, but
and then later they
usually they try
learn
and
to-
do it and they suck at it, like flying or whatever. Like Spider-Man, he's learning his shit. He's
Yeah.
trying, but they're trying to do it. She never tried to do it. She just did it at the very end of the movie. It was like, I'm just gonna get angry, and like just the anger that I have is basically the same as this thing. I don't know, but it's like they showed that in a sparring session on the island before all this shit happens, and then it's like that attack on the island. She doesn't do it. Like her family and friends and people that she's lived with for millennia are dying, and she doesn't try and do her new super move. Then she does this thing where she's going to take over the line, the fucking front line, and she's invading. She just uses her shield to block the bullets. They did all the work. They shot the people and threw in the grenades.
I just don't think she knew. Like, she literally, you're saying,
Well, she would have had to forgot that she had that ability.
it's not forget.
She knows she
I don't
has
think
that
she
ability.
knew that she did it. Like, it is the thing, and because when that
it
happened,
Yeah.
it literally went. She ran away because she was so sorry, and then saw the plane crash, dived into the water, pulled him out.
No.
And then the fight happened.
No. She dived under the water
And then
swam out to the plane, crawled up on the plane so they could get the shot as he was
Stood
sinking,
above.
so they could see her
And
up
he's
there.
like,
and then she
"Whoa."
dove back
Yeah.
in to save him. So that's what happened.
But
That's how this movie
I'm saying
starts.
It literally went. That happened.
Sure, but she knows she did it. She didn't forget that she has that ability.
I don't think she knows it's an ability. I don't think
So
she
then
knows.
just like
no one
she
ever
was
told
in
her
a
she's
sparring-
magic.
No, but like if you or I were, just in normal day and we did some fucking, I mean, I guess we'd have to be sparring. Let's say we're sparring. We're in a fucking gym. We're sparring, right? And during the thing, you do this thing.
And it accidentally
And
fucks
then-
you up, and then I feel
everybody
really
in
bad
the
about
room,
it.
Everybody in the room gets blown back with the
Like I
shockwave.
said, she
but you
fucked
didn't
up
see
her-
the shockwave.
But she fucked up her.
Everybody, it was like a shockwave.
Like the lady she loved almost as much as her mom,
Sure.
and
She
she
heard
felt
him.
crazy bad about it, and
but
then
she
ran
knew
away.
how it happened. It's not like she was
I
surprised.
don't think she
that,
knew how it happened.
I mean, everybody got blown back.
Yeah.
I don't know. It
That
was
part didn't
pretty
bother
fucking
me.
stupid that
never bothered
she
me.
did something. She did something that she had never done before, and she doesn't even attempt it. And fucking good at it towards the end of the movie. So she accidentally did it and didn't know she could even do it. But at the end of the movie, it's her like go-to Hadouken.
Here, like,
So it's like
her trainer lady
it's
kept telling her
so-
she's so much more powerful than she
Sure.
knew.
Yeah.
And I don't think it was until Ares actually told her that it wasn't the sword that was the god killer, it was her. Yeah. So
Which that was stupid,
and I
too.
think that finally gave her
that
the confidence.
was stupid. The fucking twists in this fucking movie are
No,
stupid.
I'm not saying it's great. I'm just trying to.
So
I'm just
stupid.
trying to explain what
I know.
I saw.
I
even
get
though-
it. I saw a lot of stupid shit. I saw a lot of fucking flippy bullshit and with their training.
When
I saw
when
her.
she picked up that
I saw
shield
her
off
do,
the ground.
I saw her
just
do.
one of the random ones. It looked so weird.
She does these super jumps that look stupid. The way they're done in the movie, they look stupid.
They didn't look
It
great.
looks like fucking bad wire work. Bad wire work. Unless they like zoom in and it's like fucking
The dog hates the movie too.
yeah.
Again, I didn't hate the movie. And
I didn't
you
hate it. It was
either.
just a lot of stupid shit. It was just a lot of stupid shit that kept pulling me out of it. And there was not. It's like it is definitely below average for me because I was not entertained. I was hoping for at least a fun action scene. I got one that took like 2 seconds and full of like just flippy shit. Every time is like flippy shit, slide, flippy shit, flippy shit. Fucking it just like the most overdone. Like if Cirque du Soleil made an action movie, this is like that's who choreographed this bullshit.
There was a lot of flippy shit.
Very much Cirque du Soleil's branding of fighting, which is not something I want to see. It'd be like if this was a musical out of nowhere. It's like this, like way too stylized for no reason.
That would be hilarious.
Like a musical. I would have
a comic book, movie musical.
But they only
like,
break
out
into
of
song.
Nowhere.
They only break into song during fight scenes. So instead of and they're good fight scenes though. Like John Wick, it's like him and fucking whatever that other dude. I don't know his name. It doesn't matter. So anyway, back to Wonder Woman. But here's the thing. It's disappointing. I was looking forward to this. Now, I don't give a fuck about Wonder Woman. I don't remember the show. I
never watched the Linda Carter version, but I've seen all the animated.
I don't give a fuck about the comics. I've never. It's not a franchise that I give a fuck about, which is another reason why I was like maybe I won't care because it's not fucking up a franchise that I enjoy some of the movies from, like Superman and Batman.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be like a Crystal Skull kind of a situation, which it's weird how like with Indiana Jones is kind of overwhelmingly people hated that versus like bad comic book movies. They'll make excuses for shitty movies. Like imagine an Indiana Jones fan like making excuses for Crystal. I'm sure they're there. Yeah. They're out there, but primarily it's like.
I mean, I can't like we do. You know, we rate movies on here and everything, and that's all. But you know what? If you fucking like a stupid movie, whatever.
Sure.
Like that's if
here's the thing.
If it makes you happy,
yeah.
I don't give a fuck. Like, I watch some weird shit. Dude.
I'm not watching Ong Bak for like the plot or the story or the acting.
Yeah.
I'm looking for some fun fight scenes,
like
action
The Raid.
Scenes. Exactly.
The Raid is a terrible movie with awesome
The
fight
Raid
scenes.
is a fucking. It's a simple fucking premise. It's not trying to pretend like it's this fucking crazy, in-depth thing that's attached to all this other bullshit. Yeah. Like it's a good solid movie. Where this is trying to be. I mean, at least it only had the fucking lightning into the sky for a moment.
Yeah.
Only a moment, at least. Like, it wasn't just all the other movies where it's a pillar of fucking energy and, like, a vortex of shit. It was more of, like, everything's on fire and we're fighting kind of a fight. But I was like, once I saw the bullshit kind of Cirque du Soleil fucking archery on horseback bullshit in the beginning, and then when she dives in twice to save him, I was like, what is going on? Why did she get out? And then it's like, it's a cool, like, thing, but that's stupid.
I did
So stupid.
I did like when
So stupid.
right at the beginning of the beach fight scene in the beginning, where Chris Pine turns to her and he's like, "Tell me they have guns," and she didn't say anything, and then right away like one of them gets shot.
Yeah,
and then she's like, "It's like oh." With these,
that scene, that bullet time scene, where it's like going, it's like clearly over, like the CG, they fucked up because like
Wonder Woman's watching it very intently.
She's like this, and then the person over there gets hit with a bullet.
Yeah,
it was just the perspective on that whole slow mo shot was stupid because I was like, she's seeing, it's like the way that shot for me, what it communicated that Wonder Woman is seeing this bullet in that slow mo, like she's in the zone.
Yeah, she followed it,
and
all
I was
the way
like,
through, and then
I was like, just waiting. She's like,
I thought she was
block
gonna,
this shit at some point.
I think that was maybe the misdirect, but I don't know. Like I thought like you did that she was just gonna be like catch it.
You know what that scene was? Just one of many disappointments in a lot of this movie, where it's like, maybe it's gonna be Hitler. No, it's World War I, which I didn't even know until you told me after the thing. But then it's like,
because they do say it's the war to end all wars, and that's what World War I was called during the war.
You're a fucking soldier. That's like when
they didn't call it World War I before World War II because there wasn't a need to
I'm
number
sure they
that
didn't
shit.
call it the war of all wars.
The war
at
to
the
end
time
all wars
of the fucking war.
It was. That's what it was referred to.
But if you're a soldier and you're like on an island and they're like, "What's going on?" You're not like being poetic with, it's like fucking war's going on. What do you mean what's going on? People are dying. There's this guy, there's Germany, and they're trying to kill people. That's what's going on. It's not, oh, it's the war to end all war. Oh, no, he wasn't British.
Don't.
It's the war to end all wars. It's just the war. I'm Chris Pratt. I'm the Star-Lord. Oh, I'm a little
Give
insecure.
Give Captain Kirk some respect.
Why? He should do a better job. Like you,
I didn't
if
mind
you're an
Chris Pine
actor,
in this at all. I did not mind Chris Pine in this at all.
If they called him an American, I don't mind him.
But
they
in my
didn't.
mind, that was never an issue.
In my mind, they said to me in the movie, they said to the
And
audience,
that's fine. They didn't.
he's British.
I
he's
didn't
British.
get that
He's
from
British. Everybody else has shitty accents. Like everybody else is trying to do an accent, except for the one character in this whole movie where they're like British. It's the only character in the whole, and he's the only one without an accent. I mean, he's got the American accent, but that's never explained.
Well,
He's a British accent.
Mighty fine German accent.
That's what happens. It's the crossbreeding of British and but that bugged me throughout the whole movie.
See, that never even came into my mind because I knew the backstory of Wonder Woman and
okay, but it still doesn't make sense to say somebody's
Steve
British
Trevor.
and then like he has an English accent.
They said he
if the character
was in the
is
British
English,
military.
The United States, like how many Americans are fighting for the British? They have British people. They have their own
plenty
people.
of people that
we have our own shit.
My buddy I work with is Costa Rican.
Yeah.
He was in the American military.
Yeah, but Costa Rica is like part of the U.S., right? Or no?
No, it's in South
people
America.
do that. Okay, yeah, people do that. But
That's why
during
it
a
didn't-
world war where everybody's fighting,
The Indian threw me off more than the fucking.
oh no, I was already Chris Pine, the British dude with an American accent. Then, which were in London, cut to Indian dude in a teepee. I was like,
He even
'cause
referenced.
they went on the. They
he
went
even
on a boat.
referenced.
They went on a boat.
Who
or some
killed your
shit.
people? He goes, his people, and pointed at him.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have been British people
Yeah,
that
it would've.
killed.
British people
It was
are the
American
ones-
people.
No, the British went to America and
Well,
killed all
just
the
the
Indians.
British.
They weren't Americans yet. They killed all the
Yeah,
Indians.
but again, they weren't just British that went to America.
But he's white.
Yes.
I mean, I guess he could have pointed to the Scottish dude. That's their
He could've pointed-
marksman
yeah.
that can't shoot.
and sees ghosts.
And the other guy that
sees
just
ghosts
wants to be an actor.
has some weird nightmare that has no reference or anything. There was no reason for that.
Hey, another letdown.
I thought there was going to be a weird payoff of like,
I was hoping for
giving some sort of backstory
just
to why.
fun action. That's all I was hoping for. Like all of this stuff was bad. It was all bad. Like
I
I'm
didn't think it
watching
was all bad.
I'm watching it and I'm like,
But
I'm hoping I
I've
want
got
it
a
to
lot
be
of
good.
bitches just like you. I didn't think it was all bad, but it was.
It just
It wasn't
here's the thing.
great.
It's fucking a million times better than the other bullshit they're putting out. Right?
So far,
compared to that, fucking epic movie. Compared to everything Marvel's doing, it's
Mediocre
it
at
failed.
best.
It failed. Like you don't see, at least they're not as glaring. Like it just maybe they had to re-edit the whole thing and they just weren't able to get certain shots in or something like that to help progress. Like I don't know. Who knows what happened to this movie? Maybe they chopped it up just good enough.
I kind of feel like there were. First off, it felt long as shit.
Oh yeah.
It's a 2 hour and 21-minute runtime, so yeah, it is a long fucking movie. But
Way too long. I mean, just for them to get to the front line, probably took 45 minutes. Like all of
every
that
bit
shit
of
that
it.
happened, it's like you could have fucking been like the setup for everything. Like she's a kid for 10 minutes.
Well,
like why do we need to see her as a child for that
the
long?
first half
it's like
is the first act is on the island.
Yeah.
Second act is they're in London.
yeah.
Getting ready to go to the war and trying to set that up, and then they're
wearing dresses.
wearing dresses, ha ha ha, funny shit. And then the third act
is long as fuck.
long as fuck, and it's from the
mean-
trench scene on.
Yeah. Or at least, I mean, technically, the third act would be when she finds out who the real war, and then there's that.
No, I just think that's
because
part
that's
of
the
third
conclusion.
act.
Well, that's just the third.
Unless
like,
the second
scene.
act is fucking. We get unless maybe there's 4 acts.
Hey, guess what the military guy?
maybe they just didn't do it.
Guess what the military Native American's name is? Chief.
Oh, Is that like a reference to One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest?
No,
we're just calling every Indian chief.
I mean, it's, I don't know. The ragtag group I could give a fuck about. I could give a fuck about. Give me Rogue One. Why'd they kill them? Everybody in this movie should have died. Fucking, I love that dude from Trainspotting. They wasted him.
Spud.
They wasted him.
I believe he was
Fucking
called
wasted
Spud
him.
in Trainspotting.
Or Black Hawk Down. He's in Black Hawk Down too. He loses hearing,
but
I can't remember what his name is. It could be Spud.
I believe it's Spud.
Wasted. The Native American guy, I didn't mind him, but he didn't do shit.
Didn't do anything.
It was just
special.
like, I was like, why does he have to assemble this ragtag group of fucking degenerates? Like, why are they doing that? He's like supposed to be this elite spy, which he's clearly not. He's supposed to be British, clearly not. He's got a expert sniper, clearly not. He's got a expert spy that's just a dude that wants to be an actor.
Who is an actor?
And
who just got wrapped up in the war.
There's the scene
yeah.
they like put a mask on. Like it's like there's like super cheeseball moments in this movie. Like in the fight scene when they're in London, and it's what's his face and her, and they like she starts
in the alleyway.
She starts using her things.
Yeah,
and he's fighting like a 50s kind of like.
He punches one guy and he's like, "Oh my hand,"
which is stupid because when was World War One? World War One was like early 1900s.
1913?
Wasn't the 50s.
No.
But it was very much a 50s style, like even the Hattie was very Dick Tracy-esque.
Yes.
It's just like so much shit. Just I'm curious. Guaranteed, there's some fucking director's cut bullshit that they're gonna double dip on all the fans. And it's
what
like,
are you gonna give me, a 3-hour version of this fucking bitch? Jesus, it was long enough. Plus, I have diarrhea today, and I had to shit the whole movie. I missed one scene because I had to shit.
And it was a stupid scene where they could get a dick joke in, and
can't
the
believe I
crowd
missed the one dick
loved
joke.
it.
Oh, of course
the crowd
they would.
loved it. It was so stupid, but there was just I didn't mind, right? The stupid scenes, they weren't like offensively stupid.
I chuckled at some of the wah scenes.
They just didn't. It was like somebody put a puzzle together, and they mostly kind of put it together, but you could tell a lot of.
But
that
they
shit
jammed
was
a few.
smashed.
Yeah, they jammed
like
a few
you can
pieces
see a
in,
lot of
yeah.
empty spaces and shit where it's like, I can kind of see how they made it work, but it was like I was just like, please give me something cool to see, and there was one cool scene, but it wasn't like the end fight scene was like
I didn't mind
every fucking end fight scene in every fucking movie where it's just like.
There were parts of it I liked.
It wasn't. I mean, it wasn't horrible. That's the thing. It wasn't horrible, but
I didn't get up and go.
It also
I was like,
wasn't
I like
doing
it,
a goddamn new thing.
No,
it wasn't like the fucking rope is
the lasso of truth.
Like that's when you find out he's a British spy. But there's another scene where she wraps around his wrist, or he wraps it around his wrist.
Yeah,
I think, and then there's a couple scenes where it's like, it's like handled like cheesy. He wraps it around and then he starts drifting off like, it's like his insecurities come out where he gets
he's like, I'm going to take you to the war.
He gets all,
we're probably going to die.
Yeah,
this is a terrible idea.
Yeah.
But he was telling the truth.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. It was like right there. It was right there. It was right there for me. Like if she like as Wonder Woman, I wish she was in a slightly better movie. Because I don't think it would take that much to make this movie fucking crazy. I just think it's got so many fucking little holes in the fucking puzzle.
Pull up what it is on Rotten Tomatoes, because I'm pretty sure it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Let's see. All right, Wonder Woman 2017.
No,
94%.
No,
at least Get Out was rated higher than that.
Still,
See, like
I liked
this
it.
movie.
It was fun. This was fun for me.
It was okay,
And I
horrible,
think the whole
although it
British
felt
thing
long as shit.
kind of took you out a lot.
Well,
but
it was
it's still,
that-
I got a lot of bitches about it too. It's not like I fucking thought this was a great.
No,
movie.
I know, but that was the. I mean, that was from.
But I still think
get-go.
that kind of like.
But that wasn't even the first thing. The
True.
first thing was the fucking. It was
the,
like
the flippy rubber people.
Oh my god! The beginning of this movie, like I didn't even mind this. The kid. The kid was fine, but then once I started seeing all this shit, I was like, what? What the?
I noticed immediately when she got up on top. Like I was like, why did she get out
The
of
fucking
water?
Cirque du Soleil training camps that they were doing on
Weird.
horseback did not like, and I was like, okay. I'm hoping it's just this scene, and it's overly complex to show. Like they have like 20 things going on in this scene where it's like all CG. It's like that could have been shot way different, and they could have made it look fucking amazing. Then it's the fucking. She dives into the water and then gets out of the water and dives back in. I'm like, okay, I can overlook it, but that's still fucking stupid. Because they don't show her get out of the water, not like you need to. It's just stupid that she's out of the water again. But then, lasso of truth, this fucking American dude is saying he's a British spy. And then I was like, okay, maybe he has like a slight British accent, like he's trying to do it and he's not very good. But it wasn't at all.
No,
not at all.
He's an American who worked for the British government.
It's like, then why didn't he say he is in the lasso of truth? Why didn't he say he was American? He said he was a British spy. At no point in this movie is he connected to being American. Aside from the way he speaks, because I was waiting for it.
I kind of want to watch it again.
I was because that when they
just
said
because
that scene, I was like,
I might not have heard it.
What, that they say he's an American?
Maybe.
Dude, I would have loved to hear that. That would have just explained it all. Like, when I saw the picture at the end, I was like, okay, maybe. But still, it's like, nothing else. Like, everything in the movie made sense that he's a British spy and that he's just an actor that doesn't give a fuck about trying to do a British accent. That's what it felt like to me. Like, everything that he was connected to, all the people, when he connected back in London, he goes to London. He doesn't go to the U.S., he goes and talks to fucking, his supervisor people to try and hand off this diary that they like don't give a fuck about. Which
and then
is
she's
super
like,
easy to get for this fucking British American spy.
Here's what's ridiculous.
But that threw me off. But it was just like that wasn't the first thing.
They sent,
that was after
they sent that
all
to
this
their
other
code
shit.
breakers.
Yeah.
And all they would have had to do is say, these words are in this language. These words are in that language.
Yeah.
And then we can read it. But Wonder Woman's like, they're like, no one can break this code. She's like, it's these two languages. And they're like, who the fuck is that?
Yeah.
And it's like,
super good setup.
yeah, they're like, nah, don't let that bitch talk. And then the one guy's like, well, I mean, if she can read it, can we, how about that? Like, can we just let her read it? And they're like,
Well,
yeah,
it's like-
cool. Whatever.
They're trying to show back in that time, men were male chauvinists, right?
And then no one gave a fuck what
This-
a woman had
this-
to say.
This movie is very much, it seems like, at least how the studio handles it. They did the women-only screenings, and, like, some douchebag dickheads were, like, angry.
Yeah,
just- I don't know. It's
well,
like,
all
who
right,
cares?
if you're...
Whatever.
If you're
How
dude,
they're handling
hi.
this movie is all about woman power. It's a female director. I love her as Wonder Woman. Wish
She's
the movie was
super
better.
hot.
Wish the movie. Yeah. I heard people complaining about her because she's a model that it should have been like a Ronda Rousey person, somebody that actually knows how to fight. I was like, this is a movie.
Terrible actress?
The person that had this idea or people is the same podcast that made a documentary that wasn't really about the subject that it was about. But it was like, this is a fucking movie. You want somebody that can act. I think she's a decent actress. The accents and like the night, she was fine. She was fine.
No,
I didn't mind it.
That's her actual speaking voice. She's Israeli.
Yeah, but like she was. I get it. She's Israeli. Whatever. She was fine. She was the only person in this movie, and
I think
dude
that's
from,
why they made all those other girls on the island
Yeah.
speaking a weird,
horrible
fucking accent.
That's the thing.
They were all trying.
Fucking person in this movie
They're
has
all
a
trying
shitty
to
accent,
copy her,
except for the dude that they say 10 times. British. What's up, dude? And He has there's a line in the movie.
Again, Scottish
There's
guy is fine.
I fucking love him.
'Cause he's
Wasted in this
Scottish.
movie. Wasted in this movie. The fact that he's wearing a kilt is stupid as fuck. The fact that he's recruited as a marksman and can't shoot, and they don't really go into like anything with him.
I
it's
haven't
just
heard
wasted.
him sing in years.
So wasted.
Wait, didn't go into that at all?
Yeah.
Like, why? Like, I feel like there was more of a story for
Wasted.
that guy.
I would have rather
And
just been
they
him
cut
and her.
out a bunch of shit for him.
It could have just been him and her. Fuck everybody else. Just fine. Why you need a whole group of people? Why you need a Native American with teepees? Literally a teepee. Not in the United States, which that's what I thought they went on that fucking boat. Like, did they go to the United States? And then they're going to explain why he's got an American accent. We're going to see it. No, they go somewhere
How
else.
far
and
was
they have
the
a Native
island
American.
away from London if they got there in just like
But
a
this movie,
one sleep's time?
Like a
Even
lot
if
of
they got
movies-
pulled by a tugboat.
sure, whatever. This movie is full of like, I'm saying it's a fucking puzzle.
Where is
with a lot of
Themyscira?
fucking holes. It's somebody. We make a puzzle.
Seems like a tropical
This is
environment.
very
but
much
it's
a
in the middle.
women's-
It's close to London.
It's stupid. It is stupid. I'm telling you, there is a lot of stupidity in this movie. A lot of fucking stupidity from the jump, from the acro fucking training bullshit to the fucking.
I liked some of the flips. I didn't like
I
them
did
all.
not like. The only time it looked
I liked
good
the one
was
with the
in.
3 arrow.
Didn't like that shit at all.
It reminded me of
bullshit.
Deadpool.
It was the
where
it
he
was
jumps
just
over
as
and shoots them
forgettable.
all 3 through the head. Like, that's
Just
what
as
I got on that.
It looked like fucking that Brad Pitt 300 bullshit movie. What was that movie called?
Troy.
Troy. It's a horrible movie. It's a horrible movie. But it's like that fucking those scenes reminded me of that 300. I mean, it's like this director basically.
It was very early
Zack Snyder.
It was Sword
very
and
much.
Sandal movie, and then it became a World War I movie.
It wasn't Sword and Sandal movie. It was like pretending to be Sword and Sandal movie, but at the same time, it was like they were all training poorly. Like at no point during real battle, except for like flippies sometimes.
And
She
they were
didn't
all
do any of that
beating
shit.
the fucking shit out of each other. This is not like real training where it's like sparring and shit. They're going full
Which is
bore
fine.
like kill shots on each other.
They're like,
But
I don't care. I'm in
See,
the movie.
I thought that they were going to be like semi-invincible, like Wonder Woman,
I
when
thought
they
they'd be
started
like super strong or something.
when they started fighting like the people on the beach. But like all of a sudden they just started dying a lot, and I was like, oh, I'm not impressed.
I was like, you just had a training session where you were able to do something crazy, and you like at no point do you even attempt to try and do that thing. It's like they accidentally fly and never. The fucking scene where they have to. The only way to get rid of a sniper. The ragtag group. They have to get to a fucking metal door, so they can lift it up at an angle, so that Wonder Woman could. And they know the term. So Wonder Woman could jump off of the shield
Well,
to smash the fucking. Oh, that's right. He was at the
saw
battle.
it in the beach.
Whatever. Stupid fucking scene because she doesn't need to jump off. Like, it's not a trampoline. It's
No.
not like halfway through, like it's a double jump. It's just. It like this. I was like, what
We
are
already
they doing
saw her
right now?
climb a
When they
wall
were
with
like,
her bare
we're gonna put it
hands.
on our back. I was like, oh, they're gonna fucking like go towards the gun.
That's what I thought.
No, they did something way stupider.
It was.
And then, yeah, it's just like this movie, like it was like, oh, cool, and then disappointment. Oh, cool. Oh, disappointment. Oh, cool. Disappointment. It was just like disappointment after disappointment after disappointment. Even the end battle was like, it was okay, but it was like, I mean, aside from the fucking whatever,
I did like
it's
that
pretty
scene.
forgettable.
Yeah.
Pretty fucking forgettable. You know, conjuring shit out of air. You know, Lego movie. Did it way better. Enjoy that shit way more. Where shit's connecting together. Versus like, let's make two swords.
Still the
and just
best
do-
of the DC movies?
Well, of the last three.
Yes.
Christopher Nolan, all three are way better.
DCEU.
Yeah. And also, don't give a fuck about Justice League. Don't give a fuck about Justice League. Saw a trailer for all the trailers. Spoiled all the movies that we saw. Every single one. We know what everything's about. Don't give a fuck. Justice League could suck my dick.
I would rather see.
I don't give a fuck about Ben Affleck. I don't give a fuck about. I mean, Zack Snyder did most of the work
see
on
that
it.
Fucking Atomic Blonde.
Don't give a fuck. Yeah,
that
for
we
sure.
keep seeing the
that
fucking.
I'm fine with. That I'm cool
Charlize
with that movie.
Theron doing a.
Although I
her
don't need to
female
see that
John
trailer
Wick.
anymore. Yeah.
But I'm
that
glad
one
it's.
looks
I'm
cool.
glad it's the same trailer, and not like they gave
True.
us another trailer that
True.
spoiled more.
Yeah.
Because we've seen that trailer 3 times.
Yeah. True. Which,
But we've seen a lot of movies.
I could
lately.
see that movie being okay, but not just because it's
It's
like
probably better.
we just
than,
saw John Wick 1 and John Wick 2.
It's probably better than the one we saw the 2 movies ago. The
Alien?
the warehouse scene bullshit movie. It was cool. But,
That movie I enjoyed way more than this
oh yeah,
because there were fun scenes in that where I was like, oh, that's cool.
But I'm saying like I think that Atomic Blonde will probably be better than that.
I mean, it's bigger budget
Because that movie wasn't great. It was
that was
alright.
an independent
It was a
movie. That was like a $10 million
Yeah, fine.
movie.
I don't give a fuck how much they spent on it.
Well, but that translates to like you couldn't make a frame of this movie for that budget. You know, like they spend
I'm
a lot.
sure Adriel could probably render some of the fucking fight scenes of the fucking rubber people.
No. That's still expensive shit.
I know.
The thing is, when they did the rubber people, they're like, oh, let's show 50 people on horses flipping around, shoot. It's like all of that looks like dog shit. Like when she was reading the story, and then like they had the animated fucking reenactment shit that was floating around. That was kind of 300-esque. Way better.
I didn't mind that.
Way better. It was like visually. Aside from, I mean, there's parts every time the rope was used, I was like, I don't give a fuck. But everything else, there was good CG. There was a lot of good CG.
I like
in it,
some of the shots of Themyscira.
Well, you got a fucking flippy shit.
I like some.
those
I
are
like
good.
some of the panoramic
They
shots.
rendered a fucking island thing cool.
Yeah, I thought it looked cool.
But rubber people, man. Like
I saw it too.
You know
dude.
how long ago Matrix 2 was? How long ago? That's like
what
are
other
we doing
what other
here?
movie have you seen recently that just randomly had a rubber? Like I saw it. It was.
I think
like,
the
why
big thing is Patty Jenkins has never done a big budget movie. So as far as working
like
with special
she's
effects,
doing the special
she's
effects.
the director, and she has to shoot scenes and put the movie together in a way. And if she's never worked with a branch of people that do things that you're not seeing, like she's not like she was looking at people, like she's probably like, oh, just make it cool, and the animators are like, oh, let's do some flippy shit. That'd be cool. Let's have women do flippy shit.
So wait, like since Zack Snyder is no longer a part of Justice League, and they put Josh Whedon in charge.
It's not going to change it much.
Exactly. I mean,
It's editing.
I've seen that exact.
Because they're not going to reshoot the movie.
I've
Here's the
seen
thing.
that God damn
Trailer?
trailer before,
Right.
Whoa, a bunch of times.
Okay.
Like it was actually the shortened version. There's a longer version of a trailer, which is like, I'm like everything's shot like.
No, it's.
What
I
is-
mean,
what-
when does it come
like,
out?
so-
Next year?
Yeah, like so, what's he even do with it?
Was it come out next year
I think it comes out next year,
or this year? I mean,
late
here's the
this
thing.
year.
It's filmed,
So what now does he do? Like,
so he's going to be in charge of editing, which will be nice because
but
nobody
he's not
knows
the editor, right? Because there's an editor.
If you're a good director, you're sitting in. The editor does the editing. They're doing the shit.
yeah, but you tell them what to do.
Like Scorsese has worked with the same editor forever, and they've been able to come up with, like, as far as editing and directors go, he's well known for his style that his movies have as far as their editing. I'm sure Tarantino works with the similar. So editing is a big thing. Depending if he gives a shit, how much passion does he have coming into Zack Snyder's fucking dog shit movie?
When
he's not going to be able
actually
to.
made great Marvel
I know, but
movies.
he's not going to be able to change shit.
No.
So it's going to be if he doesn't give a fuck, then the editing he might just be like, editors do whatever.
Watch this movie turn into something great just because Josh Whedon took all the
Listen,
weird
after
edits.
this movie wasn't horrible, but it's like I'm really fucking glad I didn't pay for 3D.
Oh, I'm so glad you did. Like, I questioned you on the way in. Like,
Yeah,
that was
there's no
I was
way.
like,
The
wait,
fact
you
that-
didn't pay for IMAX, did? Because he bought the tickets beforehand just in case.
Yeah,
And
Well,
it wasn't packed at all.
They had like bonus points or
Oh,
whatever
well,
if I
that's
bought
cool.
it. So I was like, fuck, might as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was not thinking it was going to be sold out. Plus, we were going early Friday. I mean, it was Friday, but people work.
Yeah.
It's Friday nights get super packed. I'm sure the late shows will be
Full.
But yeah, there's no way I was gonna pay for it. But then it's like I don't give a fuck about Ben Affleck as Batman. The robot dude looked like the
Terrible.
dog shit CG, which
Terrible.
should have been a sign.
Cyborg looks fucking terrible. Come at me, fucking Justice League fans, because that shit. Someone tell me that doesn't look terrible.
And
I'll tell you that
it
your
doesn't
eyes
matter,
don't
man.
work.
Doesn't matter. People loved fucking Batman vs Superman. People love fucking Suicide Squad. This one. I'm fine with people loving this one. I'm okay with it. It wasn't my bag. It's a better version of what they're trying to do.
I liked it when I walked out, but the more I think about it, it's mediocre at best. But I think I was just like, I like it because it's the best of the.
Yeah,
it's the best done.
That's
of the DCEU movies.
Walking into this movie, I was hopeful, but at the same time, wouldn't be surprised if it let me down.
Yeah.
And it was not nearly as good as I thought it would be.
I thought it was going to be a lot better for the score.
I thought there would be something in this movie that would make it like, oh, I see why. Like, that scene was fucking amazing. Like, easily, like, just that scene alone would give it like. But there was
no airport scene.
There was nothing in this movie.
There's no Civil War airport scene that made it.
Every scene led up to something cool, and then just disappointed. Like that when she was storming the fucking trench, that scene could have been way cooler than just like everybody's shooting at the fucking shield, and which, at first she was standing, so some of those could have like clipped her legs.
Well, she's got the boot
shins,
things.
yeah, but they only go to certain lengths.
They're like here. So
Still,
I did know no,
but still, it's whatever. They're still
during
firing
that scene.
at her.
I noticed
They're
that.
still
I was
shooting at
like,
her.
why?
And that's after the reveal, which was the horrible. It was like a Pantene Pro V reveal.
It's
like
like
when
I
she's
turned
like,
around and went like this, and everything fucking.
It's like, oh, monster, and then it's like, let's do this,
I'm Wonder
boys.
Woman.
Yeah. Yeah, it's more like I would have loved to see her in a better movie, and maybe it will be handled like if they do sequels. I don't mind seeing a sequel to this movie. As far as a franchise that DC might continue doing, I don't know if this director I want to see do another movie. I definitely don't want to see Zack Snyder. I definitely I want to see a fucking this looked a lot like a Zack Snyder movie.
It did.
It had a lot of the slow-mo, unnecessary fucking movement within the fucking frame for fight scenes, just like over choreographed bullshit. But it's like clearly like it's a apprentice. Like he was like producer kind of, but like telling the director how he wants it to be shot. And I'm sure like aesthetic wise, like Marvel movies, like if you don't like you just see a still shot of like a scene that doesn't necessarily have a character in it, you can kind of tell a Marvel movie from a DC movie just because they're not afraid of like light.
Yeah.
Like DC is
So
very dark. Oh, let's go to London where it's gray, and then we'll go fight at night all the time.
Smog.
But
what do you give it?
I mean, it's like a 6.
I give
somewhere
it
in there.
I give it a 6.5.
Yeah, it's somewhere in there.
Maybe
I mean,
maybe
not,
even a 7.
I definitely would not go up to 7. No way. Because there's too many disappointments, man. If it just had one, I just wanted one, like, holy shit. Like, if it just had the airport scene. Like, it didn't have, like, that movie was great. Top to bottom, pretty great. There's probably probably missing parts.
Here's a good comparison. Like, when we were watching Civil War in the theater, and the Winter Soldier, Bucky, grabbed that bike, fucking just yanked it off. Like, I remember everyone in the theater being like, "What the fuck?" Like, there was no the one "what the fuck" scene that I heard from anyone.
I did, but I think it was a different tone, and it was coming from me, and it was more like, "What the fuck." It was more of the what the fuck I was talking about.
No, I'm saying they didn't have that one exciting scene where
No.
during the movie I was like, yes!
The best done scene was that small fight scene in that room.
Which is in the trailer.
glad I didn't see the trailer. Because I didn't give a fuck about this movie until I was like, oh, it's rated good. It's kind of like I really haven't heard anybody that's seen it or that can talk about it, because sometimes people get under, like, critics have to be, they're under embargo until a certain time. So I was optimistic. It's not like I want to pay for a bad movie. That's stupid. Unless I'm like King Arthur, I was like, knowing that's probably going to be a bad movie.
I've heard a lot of people fucking shit on that. It's
I
like
wouldn't mind
28
seeing
on
it.
Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah,
right
I
now.
still wouldn't mind seeing it. I'm sure that, you know what? I guarantee that movie being, even though it's dog shit, fucking Batman versus Superman had nothing going for it, but like, I don't know. I don't even want to talk about that movie. But yeah, this was all right. It was all right. It was okay. It was all right.
It was a movie.
It was a movie. I mean, we got 2 movies that were just movies, kind of back to back. Kind of disappointing. Although the Aliens franchise is kind of a disappointing franchise, really. If you're going to be honest about the franchise, it's really not great. They put a lot of money into Prometheus and this fucking Covenant.
I can overlook the Alien franchise more because I think it's just more of a fun space monster movie.
It wasn't that like the one we had. Like, people were doing stupid things.
Yeah,
but they still paid off in decent ways. Like, you got to see like, like new shit happen. Where this is like, disappointing. Oh, disappointing. It's just like Alien movies. At the end of every Alien movie, they fall apart. This is like after every scene, at the end of every scene, the scene falls apart.
I think, you know what?
Falls apart.
I think we should change our actual rating to good movie, it's a movie, and bad movie, because that just simplifies shit. And
yeah, but
we've had to rate a few movies. It's a movie.
Sure, but I mean, we can give it that classification. But like, Netflix went to thumbs up, thumbs down.
Who cares? Fuck Netflix.
But you're doing thumbs up, thumbs down with a third option, which sucks.
That's great.
No, it sucks because it's like,
because really in the end you're only saying 3 things.
I guess
it's a good movie, it's a fair movie, it's a shit movie.
Because sometimes there's shit movies that I enjoy watching,
which is a fair movie.
I mean, it depends. I don't know, man. I mean, there's movies that are dog shit movies that if I'm in the right mood, I'll watch.
Yeah.
But
which makes it a fair. There's a good movie, there's a bad movie, and there's a fair movie.
I guess. Yeah, I mean, we
like
could...
in the whole gist of it, it's not they're good, they're bad. There's 3 options. It's or it's good or it's
I think
bad.
there's more than 3 options. I mean,
what other options are
between and good or great or dog shit? Like there's bad movies that maybe some people will like, or there's dog shit
which
movies that
fair.
shouldn't have been able to be. No, they're like this movie. I don't know.
Obviously 95.
Let's talk about
like,
two of the highest. Let's talk about 2 of the highest grossing dog shit pieces of shit of all time.
Transformers.
No.
Fast and Furious.
Batman versus Superman and Suicide Squad.
How much did they really make that much?
Oh, destroyed. They destroyed.
I didn't even check that shit
But
out.
that doesn't mean shit. I mean, Transformers makes good money.
Great money. They
Fucking
keep making them.
Swiss Army Man didn't make shit. Love that movie way more than all of this bullshit. This movie can suck my dick. This movie can get down on its knees. Wonder Woman sure could.
I was
That's
about
the
to.
only,
Right when you
really
started saying, I was like, she is one of the hottest actresses I've seen in a while.
And I'm I want her to be in a better Wonder Woman movie.
And they played it.
I wanted her to be
and they
in
played
better.
it so perfect. Like, everyone that first met her was like, "Holy shit, you are so fucking."
Which that's what she's supposed to be. She's supposed to be a beautiful woman.
She is.
That can fight.
She works.
Yeah. But it's just like, better director, man. Fucking Warner Brothers.
It's a movie.
Warner Brothers, take this fucking opportunity and entrust this goddamn franchise into somebody that, like, all they care about is money. Do good shit. Make good work. Like, they're not making good work. They're making, like, fucking mediocre dog shit over there. They're not making good work.
Trump America, it's all about money, bro. It's not about fucking art. No one
it's
gives a
always
fuck.
been about. I mean,
No one gives a
Hollywood now makes movies for China. They have different edits, different like they will change and modify movies so they can make a shitload. And that's where all these like the WoW
The Great
movie,
Wall.
the WoW movie that got but that was made in China that they put an English guy in so we would potentially. It was like reverse of what we do, and it didn't work because nobody from here gave a shit about that. But I'm guaranteed it did huge numbers over in China. Yeah, usually it's the other way where it's like, oh, we'll just add an Asian character. That's what movie was that? Where there was this? Oh, was that that was Kong?
Yeah,
There was that Asian assistant that just like showed up out of nowhere.
Hi.
I love Kong more than this, way more than this. That had so many scenes that
Yeah,
were like,
I agree.
Holy shit!
No, I agree.
Like that was
there were a lot of fun.
as far
scenes.
as fun movie.
Just
Like, want
him-
to talk about fun
just
movies?
Kong fighting the giant
That's
squid.
the thing. Here we go.
Better
Good
than-
movie, fun movie, a movie, bad movie. That's not a movie.
We
That's a
can do-
better distinction. Yeah,
I got you.
gotta have gray area, bro. But yeah, because I enjoy fun movies.
I do too.
Is that?
And sometimes
It's
a
not
fun movie to me,
Apocalypse Now.
not a fun movie to you, and that's fine.
And it depends. Like with this shit,
When
like
I
you have
walked out,
backstory on this.
I was like, I know the backstory, so like it was a different.
But even still, this one handled
me.
it better for somebody that doesn't know shit about any of them. Like,
Besides
I just know it's a hot
that
superhero.
the main character was American and working for the British government.
But that was the fourth thing that bugged me. It wasn't even the first thing. Like when I find out he was British, I was like, that's confusing as well as the fact that she jumped into the water, got out of the water, and jumped back in. It's as dog shit as the fact that they're doing fucking, parkour fucking archery off of horses. Like that looks bad. Like those scenes happened before we find out he's a British. Well, they say anyway that he says with the rope of truth around him that he's British.
Lasso.
Whatever the fucking bull. It looked like a rope.
A rope and a lasso.
It wasn't tapered.
A lasso is a rope.
Oh yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah.
But it didn't have the circle at the end. It was just
at
a rope.
few points.
It was mostly just rope that kind of just wrapped around people. It was
was
like
magic.
smart rope.
Magic.
But it wasn't. But it was stupid.
Magic.
The cape.
Magic.
The cape in fucking Doctor Strange. Magic and done well. This rope, retarded magic.
Hey, we
It
both
just-
we both know I'm more of a Marvel guy than DC. Anyway, I've said this on.
If they handled this shit better, I'd like it more.
Trying to go a different route.
They're
when there's a road laid out for you, and people can go, "Oh, you're just copying Marvel." You got your own characters. You can do it in the same type of way. Well,
Sure. Just do it
You're
good.
like, no, we have to do it more
like
dark and realistic. And it's like, why? It's comic. It's a fucking comic book.
But what's the throughput on everything that they've come out with recently? There's problems. The fucking Suicide Squad was edited by they had the directors edit and they had the trailer guys. They fucking
and then they combined the two.
No, they showed different versions to those groups, the census group, not census groups, whatever those groups are called.
Yeah.
Testing groups or whatever, and they liked the version that was done by the trailer guys, so they used that version, which makes sense because the movie is a fucking 2-hour-long trailer.
Fucktards that are
It's the movie. It's the
yeah,
fucking
but I'm
producers.
just saying, who chooses the testing groups?
Usually they
are
do
they just
it,
a bunch of fucking idiots?
Yeah,
or
it's what it is. Usually they do them in Vegas because that's where people go from all over the world to vacation.
So it's a bunch of mom paws from fucking.
Vegas is everything.
Yeah, that's what
from
I'm saying.
everywhere.
That's what.
So they're like, hey, you want to do something for free? You want to see a movie for free? And just all you have to do is fill out a survey. I was there and they were doing it for SVU or some bullshit. Mm-hmm. But they just have these things. They take them into a room. You watch a movie, and then you fucking fill out a fucking questionnaire, the things you like, or they have a thing where it's they turn it to one side when they enjoy the movie and turn it to the other side when they don't. Which I would have been turning it. I like it. Oh, burr. Oh, okay. Maybe. Nope. Burr. Every time that dude spoke with an English, burr. I mean, that's the thing. I don't know. It'd be interesting to hear the other reviews of this to see if I'm just fucking retarded and missed a big thing that explains why he's the only actor in this movie not doing him and her are the only two assholes in this movie not doing a shitty accent. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, well, and the Scottish dude. But it was all right compared to the other dog shit. Wish it was better. Don't give a fuck about the Justice League.
Glad we didn't pay an extra fucking $10 on top of that.
There was no way. Maybe if it was
What
just
would have
IMAX,
even been in 3D?
I would have had to like the only reason I even like the same thing with Alien Covenant. It was because like I had no desire for either of these movies until it's like, oh, they're not that bad. It's better than Prometheus, which I didn't like Prometheus. It was, I agreed, it was better for me, better Prometheus. This movie better than the last two dog shit. So in comparison, great. Compared to competition.
We just saw Guardians of the Galaxy.
Here's the thing. Marvel is UFC. This shit's Bellator. Oh, it's the Rory McDonald of
good
fucking
comparison.
It's the Rory McDonald of movies. It's like, okay, they're trying. They're really trying. They've gotten some names and they put it in the hands of somebody. Maybe it's going to do something, but I don't know. Let's play some UMC. Wonder Woman. I'm sure people will go see it if they want to see it.
I mean, I'm not telling you not to see it. It's not bad.
It's not bad. Out of like, I heard the fucking.
But we're nitpicking.
I think we're pretty fair with this one, compared to like the other DC movies. Way more angry at how horrible those were. This one didn't make me angry. It just disappointed me. I'm the disappointed parent. Before we move on, go to our Patreon page, patreon.com/inspired disorder. Donate $1 a month, $12 a year. You can donate more, get perks if you want perks, and help support us and what we do here. And yeah, that's how things go. And let's move on to the Ultimate Movie Championship, brought to you by patreon.com/inspired disorder. This is where we go to flickchart.com. Oops. And we rank movies that are given to us by the program gods of Egypt. We choose which of the two deserves to be on our ultimate list. If we can't make a decision, we go to our judges, Rotten Tomatoes critic score, which do not want to go to a decision with Wonder Woman. That's for sure.
For reals.
Although that might change.
I can't tell you honestly that I've seen either one of these movies.
Okay. I
know I've seen First Blood Part 2.
Yeah. And I know I've seen both of them,
and
but
I've probably seen Dirty Harry, but I can't tell you anything. Like I can't rate these movies because I don't.
I can't. I don't feel. Yeah.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you any part of the story.
There's movies that I regret.
I know
that
I've
on
seen
our
them.
list that I can't honestly say that I remember seeing. So I get it. And plus, fucking Clint Eastwood. I don't really give a fuck about that dude. Clint Eastwood has never done anything in his career that I'm like, well, there's that one thing he did. Like at least fucking Braveheart.
Mel Gibson.
And he was in he made Braveheart, starred in it, and Lethal Weapon. So it's like, he's a fucking crazy person, but at least he made that shit. Clint Eastwood? He's just a fucking asshole. I don't give a fuck about his movies. I don't give a fuck about his westerns. I don't give a fuck about his cop movies. $1 Million Baby was a dog shit movie that won an Academy Award.
Gran Torino.
He gets nominated for. I've seen a clip of Gran Torino.
I've never seen
and
the movie.
It's just racist bullshit. It's just old racist bullshit guy. Yeah, so it's like there's not a movie that I can think of with Clint Eastwood that I give a fuck about.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Like, out of all of the artists that are dying recently, past the year more so than this year, but they're still clicking off.
Not gonna shed a tear.
Clicking
on that
off.
one.
Yeah, like it's weird that he's still sticking around.
Not wishing for him to die, but it's...
I'm just not wishing for him to live. Space Jam versus Rain Man.
This is kind of...
I mean, it's an unfair
It's a hilarious matchup, but Rain Man.
Yeah,
obviously.
I mean, I don't know. Space Jam could beat like Monkey Bone.
Space
for
Jam's
me.
fun.
Yeah, that's why I say it could beat Monkey Bone.
Now, I have seen First Blood.
Interesting that the original came out.
Exactly.
The first. Yes, I've seen First Blood, and I've seen it fairly recently.
I've seen it a couple of times.
It's been I've seen it fairly
I
recently.
understand the story.
It's pretty simple and fun.
Going up against a great poster of Punch Drunk Love.
Yeah, best performance by Adam Sandler
So far.
probably. I mean, aside from
Ever.
Happy Gilmore or
No, it's
Billy
a better
Madison was
performance
fun.
of.
Well, it's a dramatic
It's the best
performance.
performance of all those.
yeah.
Not saying it's the best movie of all those.
Man, I don't know if
But
I'd
it's
go
fun.
Punch Drunk before First Blood. They're both very simple movies.
I'm going Punch
Punch
Drunk.
Drunk is done by a really good director, but out of his movies, I mean, Punch Drunk's at the bottom of the list probably.
That's fine. I'm still going Punch Drunk Love.
You know?
on this one.
Paul Thomas Anderson. Man, I mean, I guess, yeah.
First Blood. It's
They're
such a
both-
rudimentary movie of
They're
like.
both super basic movies, dude. They're both really big. Like this one's not a sprawling epic, you know. It's about a disturbed guy
But
that wants to
it's
that
better
falls in love
acted
with girl. Yeah, sure.
Than this.
But it's also
Better shot
They've
than this.
never really handled action movies with the kind of respect that would get you that kind of performance.
True.
So there is that. It is a different kind of movie.
Better acted,
Drama-
better directed.
Drama with a fucking great director, but basic as fuck movie. Action, basic as fuck movie made,
It's
20,
fun, though.
30 years,
Fun,
20
though.
years earlier. Yeah. They're both good.
Punch
I'd
Drunk
lean
Love is
to
not
Punch Drunk.
fun, but
It's good. I
a
mean,
better
neither of them are fun.
True.
First Blood's not like woo. And of all of
It
the
should
out
be.
of all of the states that there's going to be that kind of hate towards
Yeah.
somebody, like Oregon, it's kind of weird. Like I could see the South kind of being pissed off for like stupid reasons, but like, why do they give a shit that they're like this ex military guys strolling through their town? Which I mean, that Rambo has spawned billions of movies that like cauterize
Yes.
wounds with fire and shit. So it's kind of been Matrix the fuck out. Star Wars Episode 2 Attack of the Dog Shit versus Point Break, the original and only good Point Break movie. Where
Point
the
Break.
other one,
Point Break. Point Break.
yes,
Point Break.
Whoa, Point Break,
Point Break.
classic action movie.
Yes. Attack of the
Similar to
Attack of the Clones. Worst. I thought this was worse than the first one, The Phantom Menace.
I can see that. I'm with that. I hate Hayden Christensen. He's been only in one good movie that I like. Life is a House.
I don't even.
He plays it
Is
opens
he the house?
it opens with it's an independent movie. I think it was the first movie that I built or a friend of mine built as a projectionist, and watched it after just to make sure I didn't build it wrong, like put a reel in reverse or wrong place. And super independent movie. He plays is when emo is like early 2000s, late 90s, so end of like kind of the peak almost of emo. And he was emo kid, and it opens with him doing the autoerotic asphyxiation where he's jerking off in the closet, and then it like he falls down or he was just trying to kill himself. Maybe I'm crossing that with. Anyway, he's trying to hang himself in the closet. He may or may not be jerking off, and then like his parents are fed up with it, so he's like, "You're living with your dad." He's living with his mom and his stepdad, and like rich, whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, "You're gonna go live with your dad." And his dad's like this, just like he's like a contractor guy that's always wanted to. He bought this like old fucking shack in this crazy location. He's always wanted to build a house, and he finds out he gets cancer, so he builds this house while his kid's living with. It's one of those kind of movies, so super heartfelt. But he's like perfect for a whiny emo kid. Because that's like that's all he does in every fucking movie. He's like,
There's a good video on YouTube
So
about
horrible.
He's in Goosebumps, one of the original Goosebumps shows, where there's like a possessed dummy,
right?
And it's so
Is he whiny cry dude? So that's just his thing.
They're doing like a George Lucas impersonation,
Okay.
Like from behind of watching this show,
Okay.
when he's thinking of who to cast for Anakin. So it's kind of like a parody, but it's using an early performance of him. Where like
okay.
George Lucas, like, oh yes, this is definitely the guy for the, look at his.
Yeah, Lucas, great mind, great genius, did an amazing job with his franchise.
He made the Star Wars universe, so I can't
imagine Michelangelo repainting. It's like, I want to redo the Mona Lisa thing. It's like, I'm just going to use
all
crayons
the
this time.
But he still did create the universe that I love.
Whatever. He created it and then ruined it. So it's like,
that's fine.
No,
but
I guess it's.
But
weird.
his creation has also spawned other movies that I like past that.
Sure.
That he didn't get to create.
I mean, here's the thing: The Matrix, although being a very original thing, took from a lot of other things. He took from samurai movies. It's not like an original thing that he's like, oh, let's do samurais in space. He merged things. He's not a fucking genius. Clearly,
I didn't say that.
No, but a lot of people treat him like he is. They like the people that fucking make excuses for this dog shit is very similar to, well, he created it, so it's his vision. So you have to like it.
No, I'm
just saying there's people out there that
in the same
you have a
respect
line,
that I'm
you like the third one.
I like metal music and I have for a long time, and so I respect bands like Iron Maiden and Judas Priest, even though I don't really like their music, but I know that they paved the way for other bands.
Yeah, but like that's different.
Who they inspired.
Sure, that's different.
So like
that's different.
So like
imagine
him making this, he made the whole genre.
Imagine Tool, right? Maynard Keenan. Well, I'm saying it backwards.
Maynard James Keenan.
Right. Imagine he goes back and re-edits all of his albums.
Yeah, no, it's a dick. I
makes
understand
it like
that
poppy bullshit.
But he still did make
but
all the songs that I love.
Sure, absolutely. But at the same time, you have to also recognize that he also made dog shit.
No, and I hate the prequels.
Tarnished the work that was good.
I just shit on this over Point Break, and Point Break is really not a fucking brilliant movie.
Point Break is 1,000 times better than the dog shit we watched today. And it wasn't even dog shit, but it's way better movie.
And it's not that great of a...
It is for a 91 action movie. Dude, it holds up better than the fucking new bullshit they made.
I love this movie.
It's better than most action movies.
It's not a great movie.
It is pretty great. I've watched it more than most action movies. It's great, and it's like one of the best fucking casting for both of these guys. I mean, it's great casting all around. There's what's the stupid shit in that movie? What's the stupid shit? As opposed to the remake, which is the movie is stupid shit. This movie is stupid shit.
In this movie.
It's great. It's a great movie.
It's a great movie. I agree.
Have you watched it recently, or is this like a
I have.
Lethal
I've watched
Weapon
it in last 2 years.
Okay. But yeah, Point Break
for sure.
And fuck the prequels. I don't give and fuck the creator. The creator. He created the universe. It's like,
yeah, but without him,
here's the thing.
we wouldn't have that universe that we enjoy.
Not necessarily. Doesn't mean somebody else could have come up with something similar.
Maybe similar, but it wouldn't have been the same.
Yeah, it could have been better. Could have been better.
Maybe.
Could have been worse. Could have been better.
But there was plenty of other people.
He didn't make the best shit.
Yeah, but
he didn't make the best shit.
Everyone else in the world had the opportunity to make something like Star Wars better, and they haven't really done it since. So,
what, like a better franchise? Because there's a lot of better franchises in Star Wars. I mean, you're not going to be able to copy and do like samurais in space, because that would just be copying his shit. But as far as like I would say the fucking, well, I mean, there's only 2 so far, but the Guardians of the Galaxy is starting off to, I mean, the first Star Wars movie without Rogue One makes that movie way better. It's a good movie, but it's not the Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2. You know? It's handled good. I mean, it's different.
It's well,
different, but they're both space, sci-fi.
Maybe it's just personal preference.
I mean, it's like
I
could understand like who's the Marvel guy that made everything that's in cameos and everything? What's his name? Stan Lee. Like if Stan Lee like took the helm of the Marvel movies and started making dog shit movies, like, I would be angry at Stan Lee.
True.
Like, you need to step away from this shit because you're fucking up your shit.
Kind of like Ridley Scott.
You're
should
doing
probably
good shit.
step away from
yeah, that's
the
what
Alien.
this guy does, but people give him a pass because, like,
I don't give him a pass. I hate the prequels.
Yeah.
But I do, in the same way that I don't like Judas Priest or Iron Maiden's music, I respect what they did for the genre and how they furthered and inspired other people.
Sure.
And that, he created a whole universe that I fucking love.
Sure.
I've got a fucking bobblehead here I've been playing with half the time.
I mean, most Americans
Like-
love Star Wars. It's not a extreme.
It's not
side
not
to
like
be taking.
no, it's not. But
I'm
like,
just saying, as a person, as somebody that made this shit,
I hate the fact that
what
he fucked
did
up.
to his work is
Dude,
it's
George-
like offensive. It's offensive.
There's a documentary, George Lucas
know.
Raped My Childhood, and I
know.
love that shit.
It's offensive what he did to his work, and because it's offensive,
And
I don't give him credit for making this movie. Like, I don't give him.
No,
credit
I don't give
for
him
making,
credit for making that movie.
I don't give him credit for like.
I give
I
him
don't
credit
give-
for
like-
creating the universe that I love.
Sure.
That's the only point I'm making. I don't give a fuck about any of the prequels, and he didn't direct
I know, he
most
didn't
of
direct
the
any of
original. No, he directed the
The
first
first one. Yeah, that's it.
Which I
is
don't
the
find that
weakest
great, yeah.
of the. Well, it was.
I
it
find
was
the other two-
revolutionary for the time.
I find the
but
other two better, way better.
They're better done. I mean, they took longer. They got bigger budgets because Star Wars made a shitload of money, and they all kind of did the same
Regardless,
thing he did.
Point Break for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Now, if it was the remake of Point Break versus the prequels, I'd rather shoot myself.
Yeah,
Like if we lived in a world
where that was the only option.
all the movies were just those types of movies,
Ugh.
just like the worst of the worst,
I
kind
just-
of
I
like
would-
remake
I
bullshit.
would watch reality.
I mean, that's
television
basically
again.
what movies are.
Yeah.
Is just the worst of the worst remake bullshit. Like everything's a remake, or comic book, everything, or sequel. That's it.
Or
There's very rare that an original.
re-envisioning.
There's very rare that an original story breaks through. So rare.
Get Out.
So rare.
So
Super
rare.
rare. Especially for a first-time director. Yeah. And that was more of just him showing, like, the movie itself was like the best kind of horror, suspense, kind of well-written, well-directed kind of a thing. But it wasn't like the first Matrix. I mean, it did change horror in a lot of ways, but, like, I think The Matrix was a step above.
I agree.
But Get Out was great. Oh Brother, Where Art Thou versus Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Indiana Jones.
Yes. Dun, 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 dun. Same thing with Spielberg. All these old directors need to stop doing that shit.
Alien Resurrection
Wow, that's
versus
interesting.
Aladdin.
Well, that's disappointing.
Alien Resurrection is gonna lose this one.
It's like, what the fuck were you doing?
I was throwing it.
Alien Resurrection is for sure. I mean, you don't like that one.
No,
Yeah, I like that one.
it still loses this one. I don't care.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
I give a fuck
If it was Alien Resurrection versus Alien or Prometheus or Covenant or Alien 3, Aliens, it might have a tough one. That's the only matchup that I would be like,
Crank versus Canine.
Crank. Although
Crank
I can't
for
really
sure.
remember Canine.
Canine
I can't
is-
honestly say I remember it.
Really, Jim Belushi?
Yeah. I mean, I remember Canine as being a movie,
Wait.
but I can't remember watching it
yeah,
ever.
John's the one that died. This is Jim.
Yeah. Like, I remember more, what was the
Turner
one
and
with...
Hooch.
Yeah. Which I just saw a Hologram for the King. It's a Tom Hanks movie. It looks like it's recent, but I never heard of it. It's actually pretty good. It's like, he's like a sales guy he runs a tech company that does holograms.
Yeah.
Like conference hologram kind of things. And a king in Dubai hires them to come out, and he's like going to build a kingdom, and he's going to like integrate all the shit. But it's more of a romantic comedy. That's kind of the premise to get. But it's good though, because that's what a lot of his movies were romantic comedies.
That was how he started.
Yeah, and it was more of that kind of Tom Hanks, which I enjoyed. And old versus like Sully, I watched that. It's whatever. But he hasn't really been anything that I've liked.
Clint Eastwood.
Yeah, which probably my favorite of Clint Eastwood movies, which isn't saying a whole lot. Apocalypse Now versus Crank. I gotta go Crank.
No,
because Apocalypse Now is really slow.
it's fine.
It's really slow, and it's like it's not.
I like
mean, it's
Crank
whatever.
2, but whatever. It's
Crank 2 is great too.
No,
I'd go Crank 2
I
over
like Crank also.
I love. I love.
But Apocalypse
the movie,
Now is a better
Crank.
movie.
I would. So what? I don't give a fuck about
Yes.
better movie. Better movie can suck my dick.
I would
Doesn't mean
rather.
it's-
I would rather watch
No,
Apocalypse
you
Now.
wouldn't. You would fall asleep and be on your computer most of that movie. There's no way you're watching that whole movie and not getting distracted.
I'm going.
Zero chance. Versus Crank, it's a
I'm
fun
going
movie.
Apocalypse Now.
Fun movie, good movie. I'm going with fun movie. But it doesn't matter because Apocalypse Now. At least it's better. I would way rather have Apocalypse Now than Metal Gear Solid. No, what's that fucking
Resident Evil?
Half a good movie. Full Metal Jacket. Half a good movie.
It's a good movie.
It's half a good movie. I don't
Good
know.
movie.
I can't remember the last time I watched the second half of that movie or the second 3/4 of it. I was just like, come right when he shoots himself in the head and have to go to sleep. All right, I'll go Apocalypse Now, but it's under guaranteed. I could put on Apocalypse Now, and you would beg for Crank before, like even halfway.
That's just because
it's
I
like
love,
a 3.5 hour movie.
That's just because I love math.
Yeah, exactly. And the movie is way better. I do not like that Pulp Fiction poster.
I do like that Last Action Hero poster.
It's the generic fucking whatever action movie poster. Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of Last Action Hero
Why not?
because it's not good.
I like it.
It's not fun. It's not good. I don't give a shit about it. Never seen Midsummer Night's Sex Comedy.
I'd never seen a Midsummer Night's Dream.
Superman Returns, which inspired one of the worst version of the scene in the movie we saw today, Wonder Woman, versus Backdraft. I mean, Backdraft, 100%. Backdraft is like better than most, like almost every DC movie, I would say, except for maybe a couple of the Christopher Nolan ones.
I'll go Backdraft. I don't give a fuck about either movie.
Backdraft's good.
I really don't like Backdraft.
Yeah, when you see it last, probably a while.
90s.
It's good. It's a good movie. Real Steel versus Hostel.
Hostel. And I'm not even a fucking.
I know.
I'm
Fuck
not.
both
I'm
of
not
these
a,
movies.
I'm not a horror movie person, but that was a really.
Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
It was a well done gore porn, whatever you want to call it.
It was kind of one of the early, like,
It was the early
Saw and Hostel were kind of very much torture porn, what horror turned into.
But this was while Saw was like a long drawn out torture
Saw
porn.
Had more of a plot to it.
But it
This was
it,
like...
it ramped it up in all the further.
Well,
but the
this-
first one it was just two dudes.
This is the same premise as Hard Target, where it's like, oh, we're getting homeless people to hunt.
Yeah.
Where they like got Jean-Claude Van Damme, and then like the sequel or something.
Well, there was one with Ice Cube.
Ice Cube.
Or
I think
no,
it was Ice-T. Yeah.
It was,
Same premise. Is rich people hunting
Yeah.
old people. Except for they don't hunt them in this. They just torture them. But it's same kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, Hostile, I guess.
Real Steel, I don't mind either.
They're both
It's
whatever. I don't really give a shit to watch either. Like, if both of those are the only option, I think I'm reading a book. Nah, probably not.
Liar Liar versus Bruce Almighty. It's fucking
you wanna talk
Jim
about-
Carrey versus Jim Carrey?
You want to talk about a scene done better than the dude with the rope of truth around him? Or lasso of truth bullshit? This pen is royal blue. So much better. Jim Carrey. And I mean, all of the podcasts are
yeah.
pimping the fucking
Liar,
I'm dying
Liar,
up
for
here.
Sure.
Oh, that is interesting.
It is Jim Carrey.
That's
Jim Carrey.
Almost sequels, but not really. Same director, I think, though. What did you go with? Liar,
Liar,
Liar?
Liar. For sure. Bruce Almighty was
Yeah,
fun, but
they're both
whatevs.
they're both kind of fun. They're very similar. Just one, he's like has god powers. Planet of the Apes The Tim Burton one, to be very clear.
So
Interview with the Vampire.
So Interview with the Vampire gets the win out of fucking sheer shit matchup.
You're very true. I don't give a fuck about this Planet of the Apes. The new ones, that's as far as movies so far.
Great.
Kind of disappointed. Not like super disappointed with what we've seen so far. Like, okay. I haven't been. I'm not hating.
I can't
life
wait till
going
the
out of
next
it.
one comes to see if I'm, because I've been
They're amazing
on
so
board
far.
with every one of them.
And they're like, it seems under the radar.
I agree. We talked about this last show.
Yeah, it's great.
Interview with the Vampire.
Fucking, I hate it.
And Rice all up in your face.
It's just like I hate Planet of the Apes more. Ugh. Come on now. All right. The incredible matchup switched on us. Fast Times at Ridgemont High versus Goodfellas. I mean, this is so easy.
Why isn't Goodfellas in our top 20?
I agree.
First off.
I agree.
And Goodfellas, for sure.
I agree.
Maybe it's the first time it's came up.
No, because there's an album artwork or episode of Goodfellas with us, and I only do them if they come up.
All right. Whatever,
so, but
Goodfellas.
It's probably been since that
really
episode,
needs to be in our top 20.
Agreed. Yeah.
I don't know how.
It's like, as far as Scorsese movies, they should be right at the top. Like, The Departed's below it.
Very much so.
I don't know how much below, but it's below it. I like that way more than Casino. Casino's like below
Casino's
that.
super long, but I really
Casino's
enjoy
very
Casino.
much like it's
a very good movie, but it's definitely like, hey,
Comedian.
we just
have you ever seen Comedian with De Niro and the
Joe Pesci?
No. Although Raging Bull was fucking great. That's a really high up fucking
Still never
Scorsese.
seen that.
Oh, it's so good. As far as boxing movies, that and Rocky, probably the best. I haven't seen the My Left Foot Guys movie, but
Yeah, I've heard Daniel Day-Lewis does a
but
boxing
I've
movie.
only heard
and
that he does it. He boxes technically well in that movie. I've never heard anything
it's a
about
great
that
movie.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
And I've only heard that from Rogan, which Rogan has horrible taste in movies. So.
True. And I've never seen either of these movies.
Me either.
Future Cop or
Bad Girls and
Transworld?
Trancers. Cruel Intentions.
Seen it.
Versus
Never
The
seen
Party. Wasn't even invited. That trailer for all the white chicks reminded me of the one with who's that comic that queefs?
Queen Latifah?
No, fucking
Yeah, Tiffany Haddish.
Yeah, Tiffany Haddish. That movie.
Yes.
It reminds me of that movie.
All right, that movie reminded me of Weekend at Bernie's,
Yeah.
Bridesmaids,
And
and
Bad Things.
Yes,
It's because it's a dark movie. And
killing
spoiler,
the hooker, killing the hooker.
Listen, if they didn't show that scene,
Very Bad Things.
if it was just that original scene, and people will go because just white chicks will go. It's like, yeah, let's go, it's party night, it's girls' night, it's my birthday month. Like they'll go, and then when it turns dark, then it'll be like the best movie ever. Because that's the thing with Very Bad Things. I mean, I never saw the trailers. I just remember watching. And I did not like it when I first.
I love.
I did not like dark comedies.
I own that
I did
movie
too.
immediately.
I didn't like dark comedies for a while. It took me a while to enjoy dark comedies. I had to get really it took me just probably
Once
just a
you
few
started
years.
smoking weed.
Oh no, it was it was just working for a company.
Yeah.
After a few years, oh fuck everybody, dark humor is my jammy jam. But yeah, that was.
Christian Slater, fucking.
It was all right. I mean, it's Piven's in it.
Favreau, Piven.
Yeah, it's I enjoy it. It ends super bummer. I mean, it's got Favreau at the end
Cameron
with
Diaz.
Cameron Diaz. Yeah, it's a good. That's the thing with Observe and Report, dark as shit.
I loved Very Bad Things.
Smoochie, Death to Smoochie.
Death to Smoochie.
Didn't really.
With,
it's kind of weird. DeVito and Norton.
yeah.
Anyway, how do we get there?
Wasn't Robin Williams in that too? Death to Smoochie.
I don't think so, but he may have been in something similar to
I
that.
think he was.
It might have been. I don't know. Cruel Intentions versus Mission Impossible 2.
The John Woo.
The worst Mission Impossible
The
movie.
wooest.
And I've actually watched it a good amount of times when it came out. 'Cause it's kind of fun to put on. Tandy Newton's hot. I like Tandy Newton.
Cruel Intentions.
Yeah. I mean, they're both not good movies. But
I liked Cruel Intentions when it came out.
It's a 90s, like, jerk-off
creepy.
movie.
And I got to jerk off to it. I've never seen The Unknown or Slipstream.
No. I guarantee The Unknown is very much similar to Taken. I was going to say Stolen. Yeah, because that's all he does now.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory
the remake.
versus The Exorcist.
The original.
The Exorcist.
For sure.
And I don't
Fuck
even
Charlie and the
I don't even like horror movies.
I
for the
can't
most part.
see a movie. I can see movies that could beat Charlie and Chocolate Factory, but none of them should ever come out.
I'm glad that this came up. Role models.
Final Destination versus Role Models?
Role models for sure. I loved that movie.
It's all right. I'll go with it, but it's all right. They're both whatever. Twins, the movie that made Arnold Schwarzenegger the most money because he signed a deal where him and Danny DeVito and maybe the director got all the profits and the producers like all the back end.
Mm-hmm.
And the producers like saw like it was gigantic because like, oh shit, it's fucking he's doing a comedy and it's weird. It's like a novelty thing. And it still does well. So he owns it.
It's not a terrible movie.
It's okay.
Fine.
I like it. Yeah. But I'm saying like that's like as far as all the like Terminator 2, go fuck yourself. He made the most money off Twins because he had the best contract.
But versus The Fly for sure.
Yeah, I haven't seen The Fly. I remember
Jeff Goldblum.
one of like I don't
great
have a
in that
lot
movie.
of memories from childhood. Like it's very spotty, you know. And I think maybe
Tell me
that's
it's the arm wrestling scene where the dude gets his arm broken.
No, The Fly. I don't remember much of The Fly. I mean, I know I've seen it. I've seen it. It's all right. But I remember my earliest memory of The Fly was at a drive-in, and my parents had a camper where it's like above the driving cab is like kind of that bed area, and I remember watching it through the window, and I was young, so I was like, I don't know. So my parents got divorced when I was 6, so it's like 5, 4. I don't know, somewhere around there probably if I'm remembering it. But I remember like maybe it was disturbing me and I went up, but I was a kid. But it was like that was my earliest memory of The Fly. And it may not have been the first one, maybe been a sequel. 86. No, that makes sense. 86. So it's probably that makes sense.
But I'm going The Fly on this one.
Yeah, I'll go with The Fly. It's whatever.
I like Goldblum.
I like Goldblum, but The Fly it's okay. It's like one of those things where it's like
I mean, it is a remake because there is an original Fly, but then off of that Fly there became a Fly 2, which had I don't know, the kid from Mask in it.
I've never seen The Bunker.
Neither have I.
You seen SWAT? Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Dark Knight Rises.
Dark Knight Rises versus Borat.
Borat.
Cultural learning of America for make better.
It's just the movie Borat.
Benefit glorious Kazakhstan nation of goodness.
It's just Borat.
Which is the Dark Knight? The second one? Dark
Knight Rises is the third.
It's the third one?
It's Tom Hardy's Bane.
I go Borat.
Yeah, me too.
Which probably the weakest of the Batmans, I would say, or the least enjoyable to watch for me. Still better than
True. Son of a Woman versus Blades of Glory.
Both kind of stupid movies.
Son of a Woman, for sure.
Son of a Woman. I don't give a shit about Blades of Glory. That's like the worst.
Will
one
Ferrell?
of the worst
Yeah.
Will Ferrell movies. And I can't say it's the worst of Hater movies, but
no, he's made a
lot of he's the only good one.
It's like
really.
Napoleon Dynamite,
is the only
awesome,
good one.
and the rest was like, eh.
He was in something I just recently watched. It was School for Scoundrels.
Oh yeah, I've
Which
seen
I had
that one
seen
with
before.
him, Belly Bob.
Yeah, and they're like, it's.
You
That
trying
was
to fuck my
okay.
mom? So I'm
It was
yeah,
okay,
it went all right,
but it's stupid premise. It's whatever. So Superman, the
OG Christopher Reeve
one, which I guess movie wise OG, right? Did they make one with the other Reeve guy, or was that just TV?
They've made like serials and shit like that,
Right.
but
versus Black Hawk Down. Talk about the Scottish dude from Wonder Woman. Hartnett probably. I mean, Hartnett did a few good things, I guess.
Yeah, he had a minute.
He was popular for a minute. The fucking 40 Days, 40 Night bullshit. I remember the one with the chick that was popular for a minute too.
Yeah.
Where it's like the religious thing where he like gives up masturbating for Lent.
Yeah, it was like 30 days, 30 nights, or.
Oh yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know the rules for stupid fucking bullshit religions, but
Like, I'm not gonna jack off or have sex for 30 days.
It's a religious. I remember they had a screening at the movie theater, and I was like a projectionist at the time, and one of my managers, who was under 21, asked me to bring alcohol for him and like his friends, and then somebody got busted. They blamed me, and that was like, so 2001. It was probably like I had gotten suspended, and I was planning on moving to San Diego.
Yeah,
I was like, fuck, and it's not like I was making any kind of money at the movie theater. It's like $300 every 2 weeks, Actually, probably then I was making more as a projectionist, but it was like, and he was the one that turned me. He was like the one that ratted me out. I was like, you the one that asked me to bring this shit, you fucking dick. Fucking Jeremy Proctor, go fuck yourself, piece of shit,
bitch.
Fuck
you, Jeremy.
But yeah, that was the movie that was playing, that fucking dog shit movie, fucking 30 Days, 30 Nights, and I was just getting drunk with friends, watching it for free with like at the theater for an employee screening.
Superman. There's
Black Hawk Down's a lot of fun.
It's really fun.
Top to bottom action. It's a really fun action movie, well paced.
I had sex with a married woman while watching Black Hawk Down once.
It's kind of weird,
isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, yeah.
But that's my memory of the movie. Like, I mean, no, I've watched the movie multiple times.
Yeah. Jerking
but
off. Do you get horny watching it?
But if you tell
Does
me,
it give you flashbacks?
Every time I see Black Hawk Down, I think about fucking that woman.
My high school, La Quinta High School. Guess what our mascot was? Black Hawk.
Was he down?
No, but it was
Did you ever see him down?
You know the humor.
Was he bummed?
You know the humor of high school kids, and they have Black Hawk as their
Black Hawk.
Yeah. Oh, and there's not a lot of black people, so it's like, it's pretty stupid. That's what I think when I hear that movie.
I think
like,
I'm gonna have to
high
go
school.
Superman though.
I guess. Yeah. I enjoy.
No,
I probably
I
watched
voted
Black Hawk
against
Down.
Superman in the last one against something innocuous. I feel like
Poltergeist
versus Once Upon a Time in Mexico.
I can't honestly say I remember Poltergeist. I know I've seen it.
Really?
I believe the girl is named Carol Ann. It's my mom's name.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah, Carol Ann Taylor.
Yeah.
But I don't remember watching
Poltergeist,
so I can't.
I mean, you can change it,
yeah.
but I would have voted.
I would rather, if those two were the only options, I'll watch Poltergeist.
All right, American Beauty versus Once Upon a Time in Mexico. American Beauty for sure.
Yeah, Once Upon a Time in Mexico's
two more,
shit.
and then I gotta piss so
The
bad.
Social Network versus Alien Resurrection.
The Social Network.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
I don't know any alien movie that would beat that. Night at the Museum versus The Last Samurai.
Ugh. I don't like
I go
either of
Last
these.
Samurai.
Really?
Yeah. Just
I'm
because
going Night at the Museum.
Last Samurai's. It's a good movie. It's a fun movie to watch. It's got good fighting. It's got good acting. It's not a kids movie. Like the Night at the Museum, I don't give a shit about.
I'd rather spend a night at the museum.
If both of these movies were on, I'm never watching the Night at the Museum. I've seen it once. I'm good. I don't need to see any of those movies ever again.
At least.
I have no desire to see shrunken fucking Owen Wilson or fucking dead.
Last one, take it to the judges.
I mean, for sure, Last Samurai's got to win.
I don't think.
I think so. The fact that 94 for Wonder Woman just makes me give. That's a sign that our society. I mean, it's not a bad movie, but 94. Give me the critic score is lower, or the fan score is lower, which I appreciate that. What am I doing here? Movies?
Night at the Museum.
Night at the Museum. Sorry, the classic film at the museum. Night at the Museum, the Ben Stiller classic. 43%. Not surprised.
67.
The
fan
last,
score.
yeah, because kids love it and parents love to not do anything.
The Lask?
Yeah. Sorry. It was the Alaskan Samurai. The Last Samurai coming in. That's not the right one.
That's not the right one.
God damn it.
You're not typing any.
Jesus Christ fucking. The Last Samurai from 2003, starring Tom Cruise, coming in at 66.
That movie sucked.
Listen, I like The Last Samurai, way better movie than Wonder Woman. Let me put that out there.
That movie
It's
sucked.
a better movie than Wonder Woman.
But
Didn't suck.
if we watched it now in a theater,
Guaranteed,
as a
I
new
would
as a
enjoy it.
new movie,
I would enjoy it more than Wonder Woman.
we would pick
I would
it apart
enjoy
just
no,
as bad.
I would enjoy it more than Wonder because it's not disappointment after disappointment. Like there's cool scenes in the movie, and it's done well. It's handled well.
It's because of The Last
versus, like,
Samurai, and it's about a white dude.
Yeah, but like it's a white dude that goes over there to sell guns and then ends up having to live in a fucking village and he learns how to be a samurai.
Tilda Swinton? Anyone?
Oh, she's pretending to be? He's not pretending to be Asian in this. She's pretending to be Asian.
Pretending to be Asian.
Oh, she just shaved her head for fun. She's just trying to look the part as a
Maybe
monk.
she had cancer.
Oh, she's got cancer and magic. Whoa, what a great person to learn from. Got so much magic, she can't fix her cancer.
Cancer magic. Yeah.
She's movie cancer.
I heard
she's
that
movie
you
cancer.
get magic from cancer.
I hear she's a horrible person that doesn't give a fuck that she took Asian role away from somebody that should have been Asian. She doesn't give a fuck because she's white. She doesn't give a fuck. She got paid.
If someone offered me fucking $6 million to play a black person, I would fucking
you're not a
chalk my
multi-millionaire.
face there.
You're not a multi-millionaire.
I would
You're
fucking
not a multi-millionaire.
blackface it up.
Guaranteed, if you're a multi-millionaire and you give a fuck about the art form that you're fucking making your multi-millions of dollars,
All I'm saying
you're not
is-
fucking, oh, I don't give a fuck. I'll be a fucking, like, somebody that doesn't fit into this fucking
$6
role at
million
all.
is $6 million.
Sure. I mean, yeah, you can make those decisions. Doesn't mean I have to fucking agree
I'd
with the
cut one of my
casting.
arms off for $6 million.
She didn't have to do
A
shit.
whole arm.
She had to do nothing in that movie.
Hostile style.
You know
Like,
what she had to do? She was the
chainsaw that
worst
bitch off.
fucking character in that movie. She could have been killed. See, it's fucking
Here you
first
go,
scene.
$6 million.
The DMT trip, bullet through the head. Way better movie. Get fucking the overactor to do it. Last one. Ghostbusters versus Mystery Man.
Ghostbusters.
All right, we're done. And it's not the fucking bullshit remake Ghostbusters where it's like
The OG.
yeah, the fucking as far as Wonder Woman versus Ghostbusters, as far as women empowerment movies, Ghostbusters can still fucking go fuck itself.
Wonder Woman way better than
Although,
Ghostbusters. The new version.
Ghostbusters, better movie. There was no disappointment.
The new version?
Yeah, and this one was
Oh no,
full
I'm
of bad
going
shit.
I'm going Wonder Woman over Ghostbusters.
I do too, but as like a put together film, he is better director. He's a better director than this Patty Jenkins.
I think maybe it's just because we saw it in cool 3D. If we'd have seen it in 2D, I think
No.
maybe,
It's still
maybe
the
you'd
thing
have.
with that movie is that everybody
That was the only
everybody's
redeeming
stupid.
factor that we found from that.
Yeah.
So without
guess
that-
what? This has nothing like that. Like that, those 3D scenes were better than anything in this movie.
But I'm saying,
Like, there was nothing in this
if
movie
we'd
that
have
had
seen
the
it
holy
in
fuck moment.
2D the same way we'd seen this.
Oh,
that
you
it
think
wouldn't have
this
been
would
the
have had
same.
holy fuck moments with her? Probably the rope looked better in 3D with
Probably
this dog
and
shit
the flippies,
movie.
maybe.
No, it would have been. It probably would have looked less dog shit. This movie was like, it was like there were so many throughout this whole movie. Wonder Woman, there was like, it was whatever. It's better than the other dog shit they're making, but it's not great. So go spend your money on Wonder Woman. It's probably gonna do. I guarantee it'll
With
do
the ratings,
just as
it's gonna
good.
fucking crush it.
The ratings don't mean shit.
No, I'm saying for people, it does to make
No, it
them go to a
doesn't.
movie.
Transformers make a shitload of money. They're not rated
Even the
well.
young kids I work with are like, "Hey, I heard that Wonder Woman movie got rated great. I want to go see it."
Yeah, that's
Like-
the only reason I went. If this was rated where it should have been rated, if this was
Exactly.
rated 60,
Exactly.
I would have been like, fuck this movie.
Which is
I'd rather
why-
go see fucking Baywatch rated 15 or 12.
I would've-
I would have way rather seen Baywatch.
I would have actually.
And it's rated fucking like nothing.
Yeah.
And it's fine because it's a comedy. The fact that somebody got nominated and won an Academy Award for a comedy is like is such an anomaly. So a comedy that gets, but you know, comic book, it's so much better than the other DC movies, so we need to fucking rate it high for some bullshit. Whatever. Wonder Woman, go see it. Everybody would go see it. It's not horrible. It's the best.
It's okay. It's a movie.
It's the only good movie that's out right now.
It's a movie.
It's the only good movie that's out right now. As far as, I mean, unless there's like a past movie that's still in theaters.
Wonder Woman.
Wonder
It's
Woman.
a movie.
The best Wonder Woman I've ever seen by a fucking generic Zack Snyder replicant of a fucking director with a story and a fucking editing that doesn't make any sense and a bunch of fucking shitty accents except for one guy who's the only guy in the whole movie where they designate where the fuck he's from.
It's a
the
movie.
only one.
Go watch it. Or don't. I don't care.
Go do whatever the fuck you want to do.
You live your life.
If you say Wonder Woman's the best movie you've ever seen, lose my fucking everything. Do not contact me. I do not want to know you. If you're a fucking DC fucking supporter and you think this is the best shit that's ever been made in film, fuck you. Fuck you.
That's Ray Taylor.
Yes. Come shoot me in the head with your fucking narrow-minded bullshit
I'm Keith
remake
Spurlock.
bullshit fucking unimaginative bad editing
He's
stupid
got
holes.
Instagram and Twitter. I got like Twitter.
Yeah. You can go donate to us if you want to feel like being supportive by people that make good art as opposed to people that make bad art. Patreon.com/Inspired Disorder. I would recommend donating to us $5 rather than seeing this movie.
That's like half a movie ticket price, too.
No, it's not. It's less than half. Matinee regular thing was a little over $10. So if you wanna support artists instead of this bullshit fucking $1 million dog shit franchise of Justice League, DC, fucking weak ass fucking overpriced dog shit films. We looked up the price of Suicide Squad versus Alien Covenant. Alien Covenant looked gorgeous and had like a third of the fucking budget that Suicide Squad that looked like a shitty TV movie had. So support Warner Brothers if you want to just waste your money, because that's what they do. Or you can send it to us and maybe we could pay some fucking bills and not have to stand outside with a sign begging for change, because it would make more money than actually doing fucking content for people. Patreon.com/Inspired Disorder. Thank you all for listening. We do love you.
We do.
We may hate a lot of movies that come out by fucking just...
and we might disagree with each other.
I really fucking am tired of this goddamn remake, reboot fucking bullshit, because so
Oh, it
many
is.
of them are such dog shit.
Well, you know what? It's
Or
been like that
at best,
since since the early 90s, mid-90s.
No, it all kicked off with Spider-Man. Spider-Man was the first. Spider-Man broke all the records, so all the studios are
but
like,
I'm saying
"Oh, we're gonna
they
break records
started
too."
remaking shit around then. Mid-90s
Yeah,
is when
but
they started,
there was
like,
a lot of like
they started pulling up old
Sure,
shit,
sure.
and then
They
like
started
every year
rebooting it.
it gets more and more. It's
Spider-Man.
the churn effector.
The Spider-Man started comic book movies, superhero movies. I mean, comic book movies too, but superhero fucking franchises number one. And like that's all of the, like, when the economy, the fucking President Bush, Dick Hole President Bush, both president, senior, junior, Jed, the whole family. Like, if the whole family was Jewish and got gas during World War II, I think the world might be better without the Bush family. I think it might be better. Fuck the Bush family. What have they done for me? Have they done anything good for you?
What have you done for me lately?
When the fucking retard son of George Bush Jr. fucking ruined the economy that everybody seems to forget that they think the black guy did it. That's when studios started fucking just regurgitating all the dog shit fucking bullshit.
It was a nostalgia era. I don't think it was
Spider-Man?
anyone else's fault.
No,
it was the nostalgia era.
It's studios.
And it's still going on.
It's studios investing in properties that they don't need to market. It's like they're Bellator. Like Bellator is buying all the old fighters because they have names. All these studios are buying these fucking things and reselling. Yeah, and people fucking watch
nostalgia.
it. And it's all dog shit. Like, very few of it is actually good. Most of it is horrible. Horrible. And that's the majority
honestly,
of everything.
From what I've seen from the Baywatch trailers, so I didn't give a fuck about the Baywatch show as a kid. This looks way better than the fucking show that I watched as a kid.
Just like 22 Jump Street, they're turning them into comedies. So at least they're
Why
changing
not?
shit.
Yeah, exactly.
And making fun of it, which is
fucking,
fine.
And make a joke out of it. Don't fucking
Versus
take it serious.
fucking Wonder Woman and all these other things, they make them corny and cheesy, which makes them a joke. They are the punchline. These movies are the punchline. For Warner Brothers and for DC, these movies are fucking the punchline. They got one very close to great. Could have been great. Could have been a Marvel movie. But they missed the mark. Unlike what Warner Brothers needs to start doing before they finance movies is doing a flip, because apparently that helps your marksmanship. Do a flip off a horse, you fucking dumbasses, and hit the mark, pieces of shit. But anyway, the nice people that love us donate Patreon and InspiredDisorder.com for all the artwork that nobody buys and T-shirts that nobody buys and all the prints that nobody buys. All those things that nobody buys don't go to InspiredDisorder.com. Go to a shitty movie. Go spend $15 on a shitty fucking movie. Don't fucking spend money on me. I love you. Peace.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Inspired Disorder podcast. Embedded signals within this podcast have reprogrammed your natural thinking patterns. Side effects may include lack of inhibitions, erectile dysfunction, anal leakage, transcendental communication with beings from 4 of the 7 primary dimensions. In the event of a tear in space-time, please keep your hands down and feet together. Any loss of life or limbs due to interdimensional travel is not the responsibility of this podcast.